Concours d'Elegance. This is the award-winning in-wheel time car talk show. Just ahead, we have guests from this year's show, including an old friend of mine, and I do mean old. You'll hear my thoughts on driving the new 2024 Infiniti QX60, and Mr. Mars has this week's events calendar, and he's sitting right down there.
Yeah.
It's just ahead on the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin.
Yep.
I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us for our live broadcast here. We are a little bit delayed, and that's for a reason. We are delayed because we wanted to be sure and be on the air when the gates open here at Keels Wheels. Where is it? It's at the Lakewood Yacht Club in Seabrook, Texas. Where is Seabrook, Texas? Right down the road from Kemah. And everybody knows where Kemah is with all of the Tillman Fertitta stuff down there. But we're not going to talk about that. That's what we didn't want to talk about, so let's not. We want to talk about Keels and Wheels, and joining us here in our remote broadcast center here in front of the Lakewood Country Club, Yacht Club, is Mr. Gary Garnett. And Gary and I go back a ways.
Number of years.
And you know, it's funny how everything all comes around. What goes around comes around.
You know, that's true. Who would have thought back in the early 80s when I first met you, and I had a company doing travel television shows, and, of course, Don was doing voiceovers and stuff for us, and a number of years went by, and all of a sudden, a couple of years ago here, they said, you need to do an interview with In-Wheel Time. I walk up and I said, no, I don't think so. That's Don Armstrong.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know, we go through that every Saturday morning.
I'm sure.
Along with thousands of other people.
There you go.
It's Don Armstrong. Click. Off.
Well, Don's well known, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's for
sure. And in prisons around the United States. But at any rate, Gary, it's good to see you. Thank you very much. I know that everybody was on pins and needles this past week regarding the weather, as was I, and I know you were too, going, oh, my gosh, this is not going to happen again, because I believe it was like 3 years ago.
Well, actually, the last 3 years, we've had a little rain each day for the last 3 years. April showers, May, I don't know. But the weather's beautiful. You know, it is absolutely gorgeous. If we were going to have rain, all of us sitting in cars and everything on Thursday and Friday, we endured it, and there was quite a bit of it. But hopefully we've got good weather for the next couple of days.
Yeah, well, we're hoping for it. Right now, all we're worried about is this show, not only at the gate here at Keels and Wheels, but also this show.
Right.
And we're going to plow on for the next 3 hours and have a great show for everybody, I hope. I think that you're really going to enjoy it. So let's talk about Keels and Wheels, the 28th annual. I vaguely remember the first one, but I don't remember too much other than that.
That's because you're a little older than I am.
Thank you. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, this is the 28th year. Bob Fuller was the founder of this event. Bob is not with us here today. He's had some medical issues, and our prayers are with him. And we miss him, but we've all trained under a very good leader, and we're moving forward with it. We are going to be working a lot with In-Wheel Time. I've known Don a long time, and we're broadcasting live from to the websites from the show here, which I'm not sure that there's any other concourses around doing that. In saying that, we're the only boat and car concourse in the country. Why? Because we have a marina and a place to put the boats. And that's something that, we don't have a golf course and we don't have the sand and all that, but we got water and a beautiful setting here. We have close to 200 cars here today, all kinds you can think of. We've got a lot of the older boats. This is the 60-year anniversary for Donzi, and we've got about 20-something Donzis sitting out there in the water. I think we may crank them all up at one time and see if we can drown Don out a little bit.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a special guest that is actually the head guy that takes care of all the boats here. We had a fascinating interview with him a couple of years ago.
Paul Merriman. He was the co-founder of Keels and Wheels years ago with Bob.
Yeah.
And he's been around,
He's a very smart guy.
Yeah.
He knows his boat stuff.
He does know his boats.
Big stuff.
Yeah.
So can we go water skiing today?
If you can talk Don into it, I'll get a boat.
You're up.
You're more than welcome. We'll relieve you now to go, but we're going to take the cameras out there.
I
if we want to see
forgot
that.
my skis.
Oh, darn.
We may schedule a later event with that and film it so you can play it back.
That's
Good
it.
deal.
There you go.
For insurance purposes.
So let's talk about the setting here. Beautiful oak trees. This is a very unique country club that I don't know of anything like it that exists, especially here in the Houston area. Beautiful oak trees. It's a meandering circuit, if you will, where you have all of the cars staged. Let's talk about the cars. This is an event that is invitation only. So you've had these guys for the past year say, I want to be in your car show. And some you get approved to come to the car show.
Right.
Others, maybe next year. Try us next year.
We have a selection committee that works and looks at all the cars that are coming on that are pretty much experts in the field of the cars, the antique cars and the sports cars, the Ferraris. Tommy Hammond heads that up. So, yeah, we try to get a variety. We try to get nothing but the best. And this year is the first year that we've deviated a little bit away from it. And the reason being is because resto mods have become so popular.
Yes.
It's a whole new era.
Matter of fact, I've got a friend of mine that's in the market to buy one.
Well, I've got some beautiful ones over here, and I've got the 3 or 4 of the builders over here that we'll have to you later today. But I define the resto mods as a car that maybe Don and I had when we were in high school, and it wasn't in the best of condition, and it got us around. And after you get a little older and you make a little money, you want that car back, but you want it like a brand new car.
Right.
And that's about what it costs to get it back like a brand new car.
Exactly. And you want it to be able to drive
Right.
and stop.
Right.
And you
Right.
want performance on it, but you also want reliability.
Well,
And you
exactly.
want it to look good. You want the interior. You want it looking like a brand new car was when it rolled off
the old school look with the modern technology.
That's exactly
Yeah.
right.
That's all
That's
it is.
exactly right. And we have a number of them here that are have been built by these guys. We have an interesting thing today at 11 o'clock. We have Smitty's out here, who's a resto mod builder. He's been building a car for a gentleman out of the Northeast for a couple of years, and we're going to unveil that car and present it to the owner at 11 o'clock this morning.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
Very cool.
So,
where is the presentation going to take?
Going to be right down here at the end of the Inner Harbor by that white trailer.
Okay.
Okay.
Very nice.
And we'll get you some information. I'll try to get
Sure.
Smitty over here to talk to you about it or
That'd be
something
great.
right after we do that. Okay.
Yeah.
We also have Lakewood Yacht Club has a coffee and cars event the fourth Saturday of every month, and it's open to all the members that have cars, toys.
What if I'm
Jeeps.
not a member?
You can come as my guest.
Can I?
You
Can I
can.
enter my car?
Yeah, we can enter that car.
Yeah. You made it sound like I got some old rag.
No.
that I'm gonna bring in here.
We get just about every kind. If you go down there, we've got a couple of H1 Hummers, we've got Ferraris, we've got a couple of brand new
H1
Vets.
Hummers.
Yeah, I've got two.
Oh,
My
man.
son and I both have H1s.
10 foot wide. Awesome.
Yeah, and fun to drive.
Yeah.
Oh, they're fun to drive.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've got a couple of those down there. A couple of Ferraris, Corvettes, Porsche, Jeeps, everything you can think of. And it's called Member Toys. It's not a concourse. It's not being judged. The public's going to judge it. When they go down there, we have a QR code, and they'll judge the best car, the best restored, and the most popular. And they'll get a trophy for it. But it is open to members.
Does the owner take a part in the most popular? Because the car might not win, but I know that I would.
If you go down there and vote enough times, it probably could. I haven't had anybody like
Stuff
you
in the
that asked
ballot
that,
box.
but
There you go.
I would expect you to ask me that question.
Stuff
So
in the
I'm
ballot
going to
box.
check on that and see how we can secure
Okay,
it.
I
want to
know what the deal is with this first-gen Mustang that's up on blocks right
Behind
behind
us.
us, the convertible. Do you know?
That's probably one of the most interesting cars here. That is actually the first Mustang ever made, and not even VIN. It is the prototype.
Oh, we
talked about that.
We talked about
We
the guy.
interviewed him.
He was over at
That's Eric
And I
Lipper's
remember
car.
this young man over here, too. He's coming on. I remember you.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's trying to hide from
yeah, I know,
your
big
introduction.
old oak tree there.
Yeah, exactly.
First Mustang. That car, Eric Lipper owns it, which over here, I don't know if we can see it, but Eric Lipper is the collector of the year this year, Eric and Rhonda Lipper. They have an incredible collection, and they're all red.
Yeah.
Wow.
All red. And there's some incredible cars.
Yes,
here.
we know about that car. That the doors are longer. There's
Yeah.
certain
Oh, yeah.
It was the
interesting
prototype,
things.
yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting things about it that never made it to production.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because basically they took a Ford Falcon and they carved a new body for it
Right.
and set it on the chassis.
Right.
And they didn't quite match up with what the actual designers had in mind. But there it is.
And if anybody's around here and wants to know, Eric is more than happy to explain that to you.
And in
he
detail,
knows what
and
he's
you're
talking
going,
about.
it's mind-blowing, actually,
It
all the
is.
stuff that he knows about
It
that
is.
car.
That's
Yeah,
right.
it truly
Yeah.
is. And that's just one of 200 cars that all of them have a story.
That's right.
And chances are you're going to run into the owner who's nearby.
Most
and
of the
you
time.
go, hey, who owns this car? Oh, I own that car. And they want to talk to you about the car.
There's
They're
a
proud of the
story
car.
behind every one of them.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's the fun part of this. For me, anyway, and it always has been from the very beginning. Always been a car show guy. And that started in, I had a 77 Corvette that I ordered new from the factory, drove it a couple of years, and got a taste of showing cars. Then the first one was the Corvette Expo, the 1st one here at the old Albert Thomas Convention Center. You remember that?
I remember that.
Yep, and I ran into some people down there, and they said, hey, you know, we've got the San Jacinto Corvette Club. Why don't you come and visit us sometime at a monthly meeting? I went and had to sit through the minutes. I don't want to know about the minutes. This is not high school. You keep those for yourself and in the file cabinet.
Exactly.
I want to show and I want to talk to people. And that's what really got me going in all of this from the very beginning. And I still have some very dear friends of mine that took me in. They're very close with John Hovis out at the Hemi Hideout. Have you been to the
Yes,
Hemi
I have. That's an amazing place.
It is.
That's a
Yeah.
fun place. That's like a kid in a candy store there.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
Yeah. Whether you like Hemis or not, it makes no difference.
Oh, it doesn't make any difference. It's
Yeah.
just they're magical when you go in
Yeah,
there. It's
and
just-
all of the signs that he has in there and that sort of thing. So it's this whole club without a club kind of thing, a club within a club, if you want to call it that. All of us guys that like cars.
Well, and that's why we started Coffee and Cars here, because a lot of sailboaters here, a lot of racers with sailboats, a lot of power boaters. I've got a power boat here, and there's a lot of people that have cars. Like I said, they may be working on them. They're working on them with their kids or whatever. And so Coffee and Cars is open to any member and any member's relative or friend.
Yeah,
And I get a lot of friends that way.
yeah. Lakewood Yacht Club is the place. Keels and Wheels is the event. It goes on today and tomorrow. And today's hours are from 10 until 5. And tomorrow is 9 until 4. Am I correct on that?
That's correct.
God,
That's correct.
I can't
I
believe
know.
I remembered that, David.
He took Prevagen this morning.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's okay.
Well, I had to. But it doesn't work, but I think it does.
I just keep, my cell phone to make notes and stuff. I gripe about them all the time, but if I didn't have it, I probably wouldn't know where I was going.
Well, that's. I think I'm in Texas, aren't I?
There you go. There you go. You're close enough.
Yeah. Well, it's great to talk to you, and I know that people are streaming in the front gate as we speak, and it's going to continue on today from 10 to 5, tomorrow 9 to 4, Lakewood Yacht Club. Easy to get to. I-45 South. It's not flooded in any way. Traffic was moving fine when we drove in this morning.
Sure was.
And you exit NASA Road 1. You know, one of the things that I was telling Jeff, who rode in with me this morning, I said, they've stopped calling it the NASA bypass. And there was a reason for that, because people that, I don't want to bypass NASA. So they went back to NASA Road 1. Mm-hmm. And then they made the old NASA Road 1 518 as it goes through Webster.
Right.
Yeah.
One thing about that, while we're on that NASA, we have this year parking at the Methodist Medical Center down in Webster.
Okay.
I mean,
Good.
in NASA Bay.
Okay.
And we run in shuttles from there. And the nice part about that is we have concrete parking this year. People probably in the past have experienced a little bit of mud and when it rains like this week. So we have that parking. We have good shuttle buses. They'll be running all day. Go to keelsandwheels.com and all the information's there.
Yeah, and it shows you where the parking
It shows you where the
lots
parking
are.
is. You can pre-buy the tickets on your phone and just walk up to the
Parking
gates.
is free, though.
Parking is free.
And the shuttle is free.
And the shuttle is free.
Right.
Okay.
It costs you at the gate to get in, but you can get a discount if you buy them online.
That's correct.
Yep.
That's correct.
I
We also
ought
have
to
a
be
lot of new food
spokesperson
vendors.
for the show.
Yeah,
I'm
you
sorry?
should.
I should be a spokesperson for the show.
You do pretty
You
good at
are.
that.
That's why I got you here.
Well, there's that. Yeah.
I have big plans coming up this year for you and your guys in Wheel Time.
Good.
I see a real I worked with you so long years ago, I decided to see if it'd work again. So.
And
we
this will be the last time you'll ever see it.
No.
David's got to get back to the home here this afternoon.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. They've got that shuttle going as well. It's a separate shuttle.
And
altogether.
Mike's gone, so no telling where
yeah,
he's at.
Yeah.
There's an interesting car over here. They were pushing that World War II Jeep. The 1945 Jeep over here back into its parking spot, and they got pretty darn close to that $1 million Aston Martin SUV over there.
Well, it's quite expensive.
Oh.
I know. That's my car, by the way.
Jumped behind it and said, okay, rear the brakes. It ain't going into that.
Well, when you get on those, I've got a 27 Oldsmobile over here that I own that I brought in yesterday, and you forget about, because I've also got a Cheetah down here, you forget about brakes, and it doesn't have any. I mean, they're just
outside of the engine, there are two things that a car needs to have outside of the engine: brakes and somebody to press the pedal.
Yeah, but if you can have brakes and press the pedal on some of these old cars, and
nothing happens.
Not much happens. You could drag your feet probably just about as well. But anyway, it's all in fun.
Yeah, it is. Gary, it's great to talk to you. Thank you for inviting us down here. We really appreciate it, and it's great to be a part of this.
Thank you again, and check your weather. We'll be here all weekend. The weather looks like most of it's going to be north. There's a reason to come south. Keels and Wheels.
There you go. Perfect.
Yeah, at the Lakewood Yacht Club in Seabrook, Texas. Come on down. We're looking for you. All right. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In Wheel Time Car Talk. We also video stream our 3-hour weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. And podcasts are available from your favorite podcast provider. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call, and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org. Saturday and Sunday, May 4th and 5th, you're invited to enjoy the 28th annual Keels Wheels Concours d'Elegance. See the largest collection of classic cars and boats in the U.S. on display at the beautiful Lakewood Yacht Club in Seabrook, Texas. This year's Keels Wheels features 60 years of Ford Mustangs and Donzi boats. There's plenty of free parking, and discount tickets are available online at keels-wheels.com. It's Keels Wheels, Saturday and Sunday, May 4th and 5th at the Lakewood Yacht Club in Seabrook. In Wheel Time will be there, too. We'll see you there.
Welcome back to the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Is there a problem, David?
I'm waiting for music.
Oh, there's no music here.
There's no. You can sing, David.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want.
Or
him to
you
sing.
could hum.
He's good at that. David Ainsley is here with us today. Yeah. So joining us here in the remote studio at the Keels and Wheels and at the Lakewood Yacht Club in Seabrook, Texas. His name is Kevin Brady. And I guess that you own this company.
Right.
Hey, we talked to Kevin at the Galveston show.
Don doesn't remember that.
Yeah, he does. I just interrupted him.
You know, this is what I have to put up with every weekend. And I don't understand why.
That's why I listen to the show.
Torture myself this way.
Thank you, Kevin.
Kevin owns a company called My Garage AI, which is in use here.
It is.
At Keels Wheels. So did you sell these guys on this technology?
Well, I talked to Tom Collier over a year ago, and he's talking about a vision of wanting to educate the public about these cars. You mentioned a moment ago. You mentioned that all these cars have a story, and
yes,
you love talking to the owners. And we thought, well, the owner's not always standing there. How do you get the word out about these magnificent cars? And I was creating this platform that uses large language model AI to write the stories. It writes eloquently, and we took the applications that everyone that put in for the Keels and Wheels about the description of the car, and it puts that into the narrative. So the narrative is very much about this particular car.
Well, when you're ready to do like they do at Alcatraz, okay? At Alcatraz.
Ask him how he knows while they do.
I was an inmate there for many years. They finally let me out when they closed it because they didn't want to put up with my crap
I thought you
anymore.
took a boat out of there. Is that
No, I swam. I was one of those.
Ah.
So, at Alcatraz, you've been to Alcatraz?
No.
So they give you a tour, and you get a headset, and as you go through certain points of the Alcatraz tour, there's no guide. It's all in your ears.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So what we can do is we can do the in-wheel time, My Garage AI thing. So you click on the QR code at the car, and not only does it have the explanation of the car, but I could be your narrator.
That's right. And
Hi, and welcome to Kiel. This is car number 47. And here is a 1967 Porsche 911.
Yeah.
This Porsche 911 belongs to so-and-so. And he's got a magnificent car here. It's all on and on and on. How long do you want me to go?
Well, it depends on how long you want to go, because AI now can be trained to your voice, and it can make you...
See, I knew it was going to go down this road.
Then we wouldn't.
And
Then we wouldn't even need you.
No.
Saturday mornings be so much smoother.
But it can't replicate your wit. I mean, that's the thing.
That's what they're calling
Or
it.
is that
That's
twit?
a good thing.
I think he meant to say twit. Okay, so you create a QR code. How is a QR code created?
You have a program write a QR code. It just resolves to a web page.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
it just routes your phone to the web page, and you have to point it to the right description of the car. But the AI model, takes the information that was provided, your make, model, and the description of the car, and it elaborates on that and creates a long description. So if someone scans the code, it'll take them to a gallery of the pictures of the car that have been provided, and a description of the car.
Now, you don't do this just for car shows. You do this for other things, too, as well, I'm sure.
Not yet.
Yeah.
But
Not yet, but with our help,
talk
you're
about
going
future
to.
things.
You go to a dealer now, in a traditional dealer, if there won't be a Maroni on the window, there'll be a QR. And you do with your phone, and it gives you all the Maroni on your phone.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. It's very state-of-the-art stuff now.
So here, when I walk up to this yellow Porsche here,
Yeah.
so I actually have to click on that QR code.
That QR code will
Okay.
take you to
It's
that
on
car.
a placard in the ground in front of the car.
Right.
Then I go to the next one. So, okay.
It's not hard, Mars.
Well, no, I'm trying to visualize how you could do it without having to click on it. If you could just walk like a tour, a self-guided tour.
Well, that's when he said the Alcatraz. has the
and
headset.
Bluebonnet. I mean, Bluetooth it or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
we'd have to geofence it so it knew you were in front of the car, and then it could display it.
Yeah, that'd be tough to do with 200 or 300 cars.
It would.
Though.
It would.
Just take time.
But what you can do is you can hit the gallery and scroll all the cars once you get into the platform. Every car that's if people there's no replacing coming out and seeing these cars in person.
No,
for
Correct.
sure.
there's not.
But you can go to the gallery and see all the cars that are here and scroll through them and see the description and get a taste of the cars that are here.
Are the pictures that come up, are those pictures that were supplied to the show by the owner?
Right.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Wow.
They provided a picture, the description to the committee that
Right.
allowed them in here.
Yeah.
And that was provided to us, and then we put that in here, and then had the language model write the story of the car using the descriptions they provided and the picture they provided.
How long did it take you to do 300 cars?
Minutes.
Minutes. Wow.
Yeah.
Technology.
Takes me minutes to turn the computer on.
I want to be you.
No, you don't.
No, I don't. No.
No, I want to be you.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
No, you
Trust
don't.
me, you don't.
Yeah, go to the post office and you'll see why.
That's why.
So,
exactly right.
okay. That's
You're going to ask something, Mars?
Yeah, it was.
thinking.
So I think I just that dawned on me that when you're talking about people being able to see all the pictures that aren't here. I guess that's on the Keels Wheels website.
That's on the My Garage site.
On the My Garage
And
site.
We'll
So-
link it to the Keels and Wheels.
My Garage AI.
My
Dot
Garage
AI.
With .ai.
.ai.
Yeah.
Okay.
/gallery will show you the cars that are here.
Wonderful.
And anybody who has a car that they want the story told, they can add their car to it, put the year, make, model, description of the renovation, any interesting history about the car. AI will weave that into the narrative and write a description for the car.
So you've done this show for these folks, for the Keels and Wheels. What is your next project? Where are you going? How are you going to facilitate this in another show?
I want to help educate people to these fine cars. I'm a longtime exhibitor here. I'm a legacy sponsor of Keels and Wheels.
You're a car guy, too.
I'm a car guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of car do you have?
Here I've got a 53 Studebaker Commander that's modified, and I've got a 26 Model T up front.
Oh,
Well,
boy.
you know, we all like to support each other in the car club business, and it's good to know.
Yeah. So as I found this, I just applied it to what I love about these cars, and I like hearing the stories of the cars and preserving the history of them, and this is a way I can contribute to that, and it's been a fun project.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been out to the Hemi Hideout?
I have.
John?
Yep.
Nice place.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Kevin Brady, it's great to talk to you.
Yeah.
And the
thanks.
website is mygarage.ai.
Right on.
Great to talk to you. Great to see you.
Yeah.
Thanks for
We'll
stopping
catch
by.
up.
you.
Absolutely.
All right.
All right.
Thanks.
Time now for the events calendar, Mr. Mars. I believe that somewhere in all that stack of papers that you brought along.
See?
Yeah.
So obviously we're out here at the Keels and Wheels at the Lakewood Yacht Club, 2322 Lakewood Yacht Club Drive in Seabrook, 10 to 5 today, 9 to 4 tomorrow. Be sure and come on out and check it out. But if you can't, then obviously you can see us right here. Now, 2 weeks from now, May the 18th, we're going to be at the Gulf Coast Auto Shield Spring Social. Now, this is going to be 8 to 11. The feature club is going to be the Houston chapter of the Lone Star Porsche Club of America.
Very
Porsche.
cool.
Now, this
Porsche,
is
yeah.
at the Gulf Coast Auto Shield location, 11275 South Sam Houston Parkway. Be sure and be there. Last year, parking lot was full. I mean, people had trouble getting in and out, so it's going to be a great day for that. May 17th to 18th, Vintage Drags, Little River Dragway. This is going to be a real interesting event. Place opened in 1957. Have to be earlier than 1975 American-built cars. Admission is $15. Bring your own beer. Then June the 7th and 9th, 49th Lone Star Street Rod Association State Run, Granbury, Texas. We're going to be there.
Oh, it's going to be awesome.
LSSRA.org for more information. And that's all the things to happen that you need to know about for the next
Still
short
got
time.
memories of last week.
Thank you. Hey, if you'd like to get in touch with us, shoot us an email. The address here is info@inwheeltime.com. We'll be back right after this quick break. Stay with us.
The original group of Loopy Tortilla Restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipes mean when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the original Loopy Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here's the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Loopy Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Speaking of original, nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Loopy Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Loopy Tortilla Katy is another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Loopy's. It's located just off I-10 and the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggie Land? Head to the Loopy Tortilla in College Station, located just around the corner from Kyle Field. It's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Headed east to Louisiana, stop in at the Loopy Tortilla in Beaumont. It too's on I-10. You can't miss it. The original group of Loopy Tortilla restaurants invites you in for the best Tex-Mex anywhere. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is having another car social Saturday morning, May 18th from 8 to 11. It's a car cruise in like no other. Expect Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Corvettes, and the featured brand Porsche. Get social at this special cruise-in event. You'll also see Gulf Coast Auto Shield's private workshop and learn about their many products and services. Questions are welcomed. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway near West Airport Boulevard, just south of the Southwest Freeway. The Car Social featuring Porsche takes place Saturday morning, May 18th from 8 to 11. Tell your friends, and no matter what car you have, bring it and enjoy this rare opportunity to see some of Houston's finest rides. In Wheel Time will bring its Car Talk show there too, so join us for another Car Social at Gulf Coast Auto Shield, Saturday morning, May 18th, 8 to 11 at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway. Visit gcautoshield.com to see the show flyer for more details.
This is the world's favorite place to go to for podcasting and live streaming. It's the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Today coming to you from the 28th Annual Keels and Wheels Concours d'Elegance at the Lakewood Yacht Club in Seabrook, Texas. Ahead, we got another guest for you from this year's show. Mars has This Week in Auto History. I'll get you caught up on the stories making automotive news headlines. And we're also going to squeeze in my car review, the Infiniti QX60. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars. We always need more Jeff Seekin. Behind me back. Let me stand up.
There you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we always need David Ainsley.
More David.
I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us today. Thanks so much. We appreciate you. It's a beautiful day. There's no rain currently in the area. The sun is out.
Yep.
People are streaming in, enjoying these beautiful cars.
Oh,
Over
my.
200 of them for the 28th Annual Keels and Wheels Automotive and Boat in the Water Boat Show.
Yep.
Time now for this hour's car review. Had a chance to drive the 2024 Infiniti QX60. I have to tell you right up front, this is probably one of my favorite SUVs, luxury SUVs on the market today. Comes in these trim levels: the Pure, the Luxe, the Sensory, and the Autograph. I had the Autograph all-wheel drive. This is considered by your government as a standard SUV. What exactly does that mean, a standard SUV?
Well, that's another one of those government terms.
Yeah.
Well, they all have to have the same things.
No, they don't.
No?
No. Makes no sense, because there's also the Suburban is classified as a standard SUV. This is not a body-on-frame vehicle. So they don't really designate that in this classification. It's like, what?
Like you said, it's a government term. It's your government at work.
What we like to refer to as a mid-size SUV. Yes, it does have 3 rows. They did cram a 3rd row in there. Seats 2 people back there if you can get back there. So it seats a total of 7 people. It was completely redesigned in 2022, so it's in its 3rd year of reorganization, if you will, the QX60. One of the best-looking mid-size 3-row SUVs on the market. Formal-looking grille with just enough chrome to let you know it is luxury. Our Autograph trim had a black painted roof on it, gave it that little touch of class. Beautiful wheels and faux front skid plates. What I liked about it, the classy-looking rear gate with subtle chrome bling accents. I wrote that.
Oh, nice.
What could use improvement? Nothing. I'll take one, please. Interior highlights: beautiful quilted leather upholstery with classy trim up on the Autograph level. As I mentioned, Autograph being top notch. Limousine-style window shades on the rear glass, full-length sunroof, well-laid-out dash, easy-to-use infotainment system. What can go wrong here? Nothing. Clamshell center console, so the doors open clamshell style. Cargo room, tiny with the 3rd row up, plentiful with the 3rd row down. You know, most of the time your 3rd row is going to be down, so you got plenty of room to pack up the luggage, go skiing, go off to the beach, take a trip to Paris, whatever the case may be. What I like, standalone infotainment screen sits atop the dash. What could use improvement? The quilting on the top of the dash that's underneath the screen, it just kind of takes it over the top a little bit too much for my taste. Maybe somebody in Japan figured that this would be a good look. Good for you. That's not my cup of tea, but it does not detract me from the beauty of the car. 3.5-liter V6 engine puts out 295 horsepower and 270 pound-feet of torque through a 9-speed automatic transmission in all-wheel drive. Tow rating, 3,500 pounds. Small boat, be good. Miles per gallon gets 20 in the city. It's rated for 25 on the highway for a combined of 22. I got 23 over 334.2 miles. What I liked about it, the well-matched power-to-weight ratio and its capability. Multiple levels of capability, not only for the ride and the luxury inside, but the look of the entire thing.
I liked it, yeah.
100% improved, thumbs up for me. Ride and handling, what I liked about it, smoothness on the highway. What could use improvement, I would like to see adjustability on the suspension. In other words, an air ride suspension. We could raise it up, bring it down on the ground.
Yeah.
We could adjust the firmness of it, that sort of thing. That would be a bonus. Base trim price, $66,100. Price is tested $69,240. Now, this is the top of the line with accessories. Base model price, if you just want to get into one of these, which, hey, it'd be worth the $49,650 to do that.
Yeah, but the 69 is the autographed edition, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. No, 66 is the autograph edition with the add-ons, $69,240.
Okay.
Competitors to this vehicle in base size and trim, Audi Q7 for $59,500. It fits right into that category. Now, you're going to say, wait a minute, Don, the Kia Telluride is not a luxury SUV. Well, that's going to be your opinion. But I will say that there are many attributes that are they coincide with each other, from the Kia Telluride to the Infiniti QX60. But the price on the Kia Telluride is $35,990. Hello?
Oh, big difference.
I would definitely take a look at that Kia Telluride. Also, the Cadillac XT5.
Now you're talking.
$43,895. But it only has 2 rows.
And that's the base, yeah.
Yeah, that's the base. So that's my review of the 2024 Infiniti QX60.
Very nice. I liked it.
It was very nice.
I liked it.
Yeah. I particularly liked the outside of it, and I liked the color. Let me see if I can tell you what the color.
I was more interested. The interior is very luxurious, elegant, so to speak. The outside is just the outside to me.
I like the color. It's kind of a old-school throwback, medium blue, light blue.
Yeah, grayish
somewhere
blue.
in there, grayish blue, silver blue, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
But classy vehicle, that's for sure. Really liked it a lot. Mr. Mars is off gallivanting around.
Yes, he is. He's looking for confirming our next guest.
Guess that.
Absolutely.
Confirming or
I
finding?
think a little of both.
Okay.
Yeah, he's going to find him and then confirm him.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I have some recalls to tell you about this morning. And the number one that is so new that it wasn't even on Automotive News.
Wow.
I had to go to NHTSA to find it. Ford Motor Company recalling the 2022 to 2024 Maverick.
Yeah.
Which is the smaller of the trucks that are out there. I really like the vehicle. The body control module, or the BCM, may inadvertently deactivate one or both rear taillights. It's happened to about 3 dozen of the vehicles, and that's why they're recalling all of these vehicles, 242,669 of them.
Quite a few.
Now, understand that the recall, you don't have to take it into the dealer, was my guess. Dealers will update the BCM software, what it says. Usually in that case, they can do that over the air.
Yeah.
So it's free of charge. Owner notification letters are expected to be mailed by May 20th. So expect yours in the mail if you got one of these things.
Yeah, I did see that. That's a lot, over 200,000.
Also, the passenger airbag may tear, and the Jaguar E-Pace for 2021 through 2023 models, that's being recalled. Obviously, they'll have to recall the bag. Loss of power drive because of fuel pump failure on the Genesis G80, G90, GV70, and the GV80, 22 to 23 models. The Hyundai Motor of America is recalling the Hyundai Ioniq for 2024 because of improperly tightened differential bolts. I hate that when that happens.
Differential bolts.
Driver's side airbag may deploy improperly in the Tesla Model 3 for 2024, so there's another recall for you. Loss of powering assist on the Kia Sorento for 2024. Airbag inflators may rupture on the BMW 2014 to 2015 models, 228i, 320i, 328D, 328i, 335i, 428i, 435i, M235i, M3, and M4. Do you own a BMW?
No, I don't.
There's a reason that they call it Break My Wallet. This one won't cost you anything, but you got to take it in, get in line, go through all the hassle of all of that. The recalls at BMW and Mercedes are absolutely ridiculous. Somebody's over there revving their engine.
That's a golf cart.
Is that what that is?
I think so.
Okay.
It's one of them fast
Well,
ones.
that's okay if that's a golf cart. I want to see them do a burnout out here in the parking lot. Rear view camera image may not display in the Jeep Grand Cherokee 2022 to 2024. Chrysler has an inoperative electronic stability control system, and the model includes the Ram ProMaster 2021. And finally, Jeep Grand Cherokee for 2023, the rear view camera image may not display.
Oh, no.
So when you're backing into your parking spot over there at the HEB, be careful and don't crash into Granny's Buick.
Well, yeah, you don't want to do that to Granny.
No, Granny will get her gun.
Granny, get your gun.
Where you been, Morris?
I've been roaming.
Well, good. I hope you brought somebody back for you to
did.
talk to.
I did.
Okay. It's all yours,
The guest
sir.
beat him here.
So yeah, he did actually. I passed him in the hall. So this is John Harden, and he is with Creative Classics and Customs. Now, if you recall, a couple of weeks ago, we talked to his son, whose name I can't remember.
Dustin.
And so this is John, and he has got this awesome-looking Corvette down there, split window, 63.
Which Dustin said you were going to bring.
65.
65.
So it's not a split window, Morris.
No.
63 is a split window. 65 is another car altogether. They
Apparently.
look similar.
Well, I was on a drive-by. It was a real fast drive-by, so I'm going to let John tell us all
There you go.
about
Take it away,
that.
John.
Actually, we have our display down here this week. We have 2 trucks, 2 Resto-Mod trucks, and 3 Resto-Mod cars that we have built. We have a 59 Apache, a 66 Chevrolet Nova, 65 C10.
I'm interested in the Nova. Yeah.
And a 69 Roadrunner that we just finished up about 3 weeks ago. It's
Wow.
the first time out. And then Dustin's car, my son's car, is 67 Camaro that he's been working on.
That's the one he said he was going to bring. There
That's
you
it.
go.
Yep. And the Corvette that's over here is, it's not a car that we built, but the engine, it's a Resto-Mod engine in the car that one of the companies that we work with for mechanical work, performance engines and stuff like that, G-Force Automotive, that's their display car over there.
Wow. Very cool.
Now, are they the ones that have that engine that's setting out
They
there?
have the engine set up over there. They joined in with us on the booth for over here, so we've got the engine display, starts up.
Yeah, it's on an engine stand. So what kind of engine is that?
That is an 6.2 liter LT motor. Yeah.
Okay. And it'll start up and crank every once in a while. That must have been
yeah.
what we were hearing the thunder a little bit
Probably
earlier.
what
That's
you
what
heard.
that was.
That's what you heard. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
it's your fault.
That's our fault.
Yeah.
He'll take credit.
So you're located over in
Kima.
Kima.
Yes,
So
sir.
that's not too far.
No, we're about 5 minutes from here, actually. Yeah.
Okay.
So we've been doing this now for, this is our 19th year in the automotive restoration business. We have an incredible team of body shop technicians, and then we have very good resources for like some of the mechanical work, electrical work, upholstery work that help us build these awesome cars for our customers.
Okay.
That's good stuff.
But you do a lot of it in-house.
Yes, most everything is done in-house, yes.
How long does it generally take you to start to finish to make a particular project? Not necessarily for the concourse here, but just a project in general.
Typically, we run about 9 months to a year, because every car that comes in gets completely disassembled, total. Everything
Bagged
is
and tagged and filed and all that.
everything is
Pictures.
bagged and tagged, stripped.
Right.
we repair and restore as many original pieces as we can because that's the car. But yeah, it's so typically 9 months to a year is pretty.
And then you've got outlets or avenues you can go to either on the internet or by word of mouth through networking. If you do need a particular part, if you cannot refabricate or restore, then you have to go out and buy.
Right.
So there are those places that you can do that.
Well, so how many restorations do you do versus resto mods?
Probably right now it's probably almost about a 60-40 split of 60 being the resto mods, because that's what everybody wants, the old car with the creature
modern
comforts.
technology.
Exactly.
That's it. I want to drive it every day, but I want it to look like something that's 50
I want
years
disc
old.
brakes. I want air conditioning.
Electronic ignition, fuel injection.
And there's companies out there that'll take a new chassis, frame, motor, tires, wheels, brakes, all the rolling part of it, and then throw like an old school 60s Corvette body on it.
And
those are cool too.
We've actually got two of the vehicles that we have over here, the two trucks, matter of fact, are both on custom-built chassis. Late model suspension, all the bells and whistles electronically, push-button start.
Now, do you or Dustin build the chassis, or you bring them in, we order them out and get a roller coming in?
We typically buy those from the chassis builders.
Gotcha.
Art Morrison,
I was about to say,
SR3, Hot Rod Shop.
Depending what your build is.
Sure,
yeah.
Depending upon what our build is. There's no sense in us reinventing the wheel.
Exactly.
When, there's great companies out there doing that.
And plus there's time and cost involved in that too, so why not just get it packaged up and sent in? Yeah, I got you.
Where is your shop?
We are in Kemah over on Anders Lane, 2325
So
Anders
you've
Lane,
had to
Kemah.
put up with this crap on 146 all these years?
I think we talked about it.
We have avoided 146 at all costs, every chance we get.
So in other words, if we wanted to get back there, call you and you'll tell us how to wind our way back there.
Well, now it's finished, so you can get to
Allegedly.
our shop. From here, you can get to our shop in about 5 minutes.
Unless there's a gas leak.
Unless there's a gas leak, then it may take you a couple days.
Yeah, a couple days. You hear that?
Yeah.
See, I'm in the know, Mars.
A gas
leak? A gas leak.
Yeah.
Yeah. They put up with that earlier this week. Was it this week or last week?
Last week.
Last week. I didn't know that. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, they had it shut down for a couple days.
Wow.
They do all that construction, screw up everybody's lives for years, thank you, TxDOT. And then
sounds a little bitter.
Somebody bumps into a gas line. What? Yeah, let's shut it down another couple of days because somebody didn't use the head.
Should have called 311.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. How long have you been doing this restoration business?
We've actually been doing this for, like I said, this is our 19th year in business. Our total focus on restorations has been for about the last 13, 14 years.
So, in other words, you kind of got yourself into that. Oh, he did that car, and then somebody else comes in and says, hey, you did that car. Would you do that to mine? And then one thing leads to another, and pretty soon you get pigeonholed into doing this.
And that's the way it started. Collecting them. We, we started out. I partnered up with another gentleman at a collision shop, and I was doing custom airbrush graphics and all that. And one thing led to another, and then we got a restoration car in. We did it, and then we got another and another and another. And we had a shop full of restoration and a shop full of insurance. And it's like, okay, what's more fun, and where are we making a living at?
Yeah.
So we purposely do not do new car insurance claims, collision work. You won't find any new Toyotas, Lexus, anything like that.
Well, there's a niche for that too. There's specific body shops for that.
Right. The thing we're finding now is that the body shops don't want to do the cars that are more than about 15 years old. So the classic car restore is, if you look back 20 years, that's the 90s. So
if I were to come to you or call you on the phone and say, okay, I'm looking to buy a car, what would it be? Something that is not priced out of this world, that I could maybe do some things myself, but have you do the majority of the stuff. Like, for instance, I want you to restore the body. It's got some, whiskey dinks in it, that sort of thing. And I want to get the body looking good. Now I want to do the upholstery myself. I'm an upholsterer.
Mm-hmm.
what would be a good vehicle that you would recommend that I get to do that? Would it be a Nova? Seems to me like the price of a Nova these days is really kind of climbing
priceless.
You know, and that's a really good question. An important piece of it when you're doing it like that is finding a car that there are parts out there for.
Right.
The Novas are coming around where there's a lot of available stuff out there. You know, obviously Camaros, Mustangs, those kind of top
Old
of the
new
hill
stock,
parts. Yeah. If you don't mind spending a little bit more money for the same thing, go Mopar. You know, but you can restore a Camaro, you know, or a Mustang or something like that for usually considerably less than.
So
a
if I
Mopar.
wanted an '80s Camaro and I wanted to turn it into a resto mod, I don't want to over horsepower it. I don't want to do the chassis stuff. I want a nice LS engine with say 300 to 400 horsepower. Stick it under the hood. I want a nice looking paint job. I want it to ride nice, which it basically does.
Sure.
And
air conditioning.
Well, of course, definitely have to have that here. I don't want some fancy. I want a nice driver that I can take to the cruise in on Saturday and drive it on the hot rod tour of Texas, put it in the garage, and take it out on nice days.
Sure. That's, you know, we do those as well as the show car.
Right.
Put them on a trailer level.
Yeah, I've been there, done that. I don't want to do that again.
No. It's, you know, people tell me all the time, well, they come in and talk about wanting to restore a car. It's like, I'm not looking for a show car. And I tell them, it's like, unfortunately, or fortunately, how you want to look at it, the result of doing a build right, whether it's ground up rotisserie or just disassembling, stripping the outside of a car,
and
when they're
fixing
done
what's
right,
bad.
you know, the result is you have a show quality car.
That's correct.
But, you know, the degree of restoration, it's all about what does the car need, what is the customer looking for?
Yeah.
You know,
and how much money you got to spend?
It's the main thing.
How much money you got to spend? You know,
do you do any restorations that? Hey, look, I want to work on the paint job first, but so let's straighten out all the whiskey dents that are in it. Let's get the front and back of it looking good and the window glass rolled up. I can drive it like that for a little while. Then I want to eventually bring it back to you now that we've done the majority of the body work, and I want to get a paint job. Do you have anybody like
Sounds
that?
Like he's building a car, Mike.
Shut up. I am.
I get those kind of questions from time to time.
And your answer is?
I would not do that.
Why not?
I put the car in primer, get everything sealed up all nice.
And now I'm going to drive it and get it all dirty.
And then you're going to spill oil and brake fluid and Armor All and who knows
a
whatever
rotar
else.
going to come up.
Exactly. So when you bring it back, I'm basically working on a very contaminated, surface.
Sure.
Now we have, in fact, the Black Nova over here is a good example of. We got the car in, we got the body itself in paint, gave it back to the customer because him and his buddies were doing the engine, mechanical, electrical. They got the engine, suspension, all the car running, brought it back to us. We finished up the doors, fenders, hood assembly, and all that. So, yeah, even when we're, we have some customers that want to do that, and have customers come in and say, if you'll get it all painted, I'll put it back together, And we typically do all the sheet metal install for alignment and fit and all that. But it's not uncommon to have a customer say, hey, I want to put the bumpers and the emblems. And
I want to do a little bit.
Sure.
I'm interested in, do you have inventory? So somebody walks in and says, you know what, how much you want for that? Do you have that kind of facility where you can sell something?
No.
Maybe his Camaro?
No.
See, that's where we were going with this. I knew that there was some underlying factor.
Or the
here.
Nova?
Yeah, something like that.
Everything has a price except that Camaro.
Okay, well, I use that as an example because he's standing right there. But
Thank you.
No, you don't have anything like a showroom or.
No. That's a very risky venture in one way. To build the resto mods takes a lot to get there. Hopefully you can, if you're going to flip it, get a lot for it. But the risk versus reward there is
Yeah,
not
no.
something
Yeah, yeah.
we're
Plus,
willing
how
to.
long will it
Understood.
take
Thank you very
to do
much
that
for
flip?
dropping by. We really appreciate talking to
We
you.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you for
and,
the interest.
Yep, and we hope to see you again soon. We're
All
going
right.
to come down there and look at
Appreciate.
your
I
stuff.
want to go see the Nova.
Thanks.
Exactly.
I'm going to test
Thank
drive
you.
it at 4 o'clock.
Hey, the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In-Wheel Time Car Talk. We also video stream on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. Podcasts, they're available from your favorite podcast provider. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In-Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org. Saturday and Sunday, May 4th and 5th, you're invited to enjoy the 28th annual Keels Wheels Concours d'Elegance. See the largest collection of classic cars and boats in the U.S. on display at the beautiful Lakewood Yacht Club in Seabrook, Texas. This year's Keels Wheels features 60 years of Ford Mustangs and Donzi boats. There's plenty of free parking and discount tickets are available online at keels-wheels.com. It's Keels Wheels, Saturday and Sunday, May 4th and 5th at the Lakewood Yacht Club in Seabrook. In-Wheel Time will be there too. We'll see you there.
Thank you so much. Hey, welcome back to the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Got a little distracted there. Sorry about that. We've got another break coming up, but I didn't want to squeeze this. What's this story here? A YouTuber who totaled a brand new GMC Hummer EV in 2022 went viral last week for an even more expensive crash.
What?
After a bystander's video showed him slamming a $1.3 million McLaren into a Lexus dealership in L.A.
Nice.
Edmund Barsegian posted a video April 24th on his YouTube channel under the username Mondi about his purchase of what he said was the only one-of-one Kiwi edition McLaren Senna in the world, in the galaxy, in the universe, end quote. He described the 789 horsepower supercar as legit scary fast.
Duh.
A video that began spreading April 29th on Reddit showed the same green Senna doing a donut on Ventura Boulevard, then speeding up and veering into Lexus of Woodland Hills. Barsegian, after initially asking the person who posted the video to take it down because I don't want insurance to see it, later confirmed on his Instagram page that he was behind the wheel. Quote, "The one thing I'm most upset about is that it happened on a public road," he wrote, "especially considering I'd picked it up the night before from Raceworks with upgraded brakes, suspension, wheels, and slicks.
Obviously, that
I'm
didn't
glad
work.
it went wrong at 40 miles an hour as opposed to 150 plus at the track," end quote. Barsegian, the founder and CEO of fast food chain Houston, Texas Hot Chicken, told Road and Track in November of 22 that he totaled his Hummer EV with 9 miles on the odometer by hitting a dip in a dirt path and causing $78,000 in damage to the frame, body, and shocks. Quote, I'm actually happy I totaled the car because I total a car every 5 years, Barsegian said at the time. I'm glad I've met my quota on this car rather than one of my supercars. So basically all of my supercars are safe for the next 5 years.
Huh. Let me give my insurance agents a name and maybe get a cut of that.
Way to go, moron. Mm-hmm. There you go. All right. Time now for another quick break. You're on the N-Wheel Time Car Talk Show, coming to you live today from Keels and Wheels. We're streaming and podcasting around the planet. Look for us on your favorite podcast provider.
The original group of Loopy Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipes mean when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the original Loopy Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here's the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Loopy Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Speaking of original, nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Loopy Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Loopy Tortilla Katy is another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Loopy's. It's located just off I-10 and the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggie Land? Head to the Loopy Tortilla in College Station, located just around the corner from Kyle Field. It's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Headed east to Louisiana, stop in at the Loopy Tortilla in Beaumont. It too's on I-10. You can't miss it. The original group of Loopy Tortilla restaurants invites you in for the best Tex-Mex anywhere. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is having another car social Saturday morning, May 18th from 8 to 11. It's a car cruise-in like no other. Expect Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Corvettes, and the featured brand Porsche. Get social at this special cruise-in event. You'll also see Gulf Coast Auto Shield's private workshop and learn about their many products and services. Questions are welcomed. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway near West Airport Boulevard, just south of the Southwest Freeway. The Car Social featuring Porsche takes place Saturday morning, May 18th from 8 to 11. Tell your friends, and no matter what car you have, bring it and enjoy this rare opportunity to see some of Houston's finest rides. In Wheel Time will bring its Car Talk show there too, so join us for another Car Social at Gulf Coast Auto Shield, Saturday morning, May 18th, 8 to 11 at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway. Visit gcautoshield.com to see the show flyer for more details.
This is the world's favorite place to go to
It is.
podcasting and live streaming. Yes, friends, it's the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Today, coming to you from the 28th Annual Keels and Wheels Concours d'Elegance at the Lakewood Yacht Club in Seabrook, Texas. You know, I feel kind of yachty today.
Do you?
I am.
You got your little yacht shoes on.
I do.
You got your deck shoes?
I had
You
another
feel
guest from
kinda-
this year's show. Mars has This Week in Auto History, if we get to it. And I'll take you and get you caught up on the stories making automotive news headlines. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World, Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin.
No.
Behind me here is
That's Mike.
Back behind me here is David Ainsley. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us. Julie Howell
That's right.
is the membership person with the country club or the
Yacht Club.
The Yacht Club. Pull that microphone up a little bit closer to your mouth.
Are you married to Thurston Howell?
I am Lovey.
Lovey.
Oh, there you go. Well,
We found somebody that knows about Thurston Howell.
yes, because we
That's
talked
Thurston
about that
Howell the third.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pull
'cause
it
we
a little
asked
bit
the
closer.
young lady inside if she knew
bit
about
closer.
Gilligan's Island, and she didn't have a clue.
She had no clue.
she had a clue.
Of course,
She's
she
too
was
young.
only 20.
Yeah.
So
something like that.
what's to say?
Love
So
me.
the membership committee. So you go out and get members. I can't imagine that you would recruit members. It's kind of like, hey, I'm a member of the Lakewood Yacht Club, and one person says, come on to the yacht club with me, I'll buy you lunch. And they go, I really like it here, I want to be a member. Boom, there it is.
That's exactly right.
And so we don't have to worry about recruiting people. You've got people that are members of the yacht club that are recruiting all the time.
Yeah, network.
That's exactly right. We are the best kept secret in the area.
There's no secret. Look at all the people that are here.
Which is great. That's why we love Keels and Wheels.
Yeah. And the funny thing about it is, and every time I come down here, which has been a number of times over the years, it's not that easy to find off of NASA Road 1. It's kind of behind an apartment complex, and it's really cool. It's kind of like, you got to know.
That's exactly right.
Do you hear that a lot?
We hear that a lot.
Yeah.
And, the beauty of the club is that we back up and we face Clear Lake. And we're the only private club on the lake with over 300 slips floating and fixed.
Wait a minute. You're the only private club on Clear Lake?
We are, and we have 38 acres of prime space that overlook. Yeah.
How long has this
absolutely.
club been in business?
Since 1955.
55.
Yes,
I
sir.
remember that year very well.
I
You
can
can comment on that if you'd like.
no,
I will. Shut up. Didn't ask you.
But we do. We face the water. It is a glorious place to be. Our
is.
members are fantastic, and we certainly appreciate you all being here.
Well, thanks. Well, we enjoy coming, and we kind of feel part of the gang, if you will.
Well, you don't call them gangs in the yacht club. You don't say gangs.
What do you call them? Well, gang is a gang
participants.
plank.
Oh, yeah, we're going to walk that later.
Cruise. Call them cruise.
Cruise,
Yeah.
yes. We saw some T-shirts where it says crew on the back.
Yeah.
That is our Lakewood staff, actually.
Yes.
We are the crew here. We are here to serve our members and the guests that we have on property today.
And the interesting thing about it is it's kind of like the Houston Livestock Show and the rodeo in the fact that when you put on this big event, here comes all the volunteers, members of the yacht club.
Right.
That is correct, yeah.
And so they got a piece of this as well. This is kind of like their baby.
This is their baby.
So this is their Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo event once a year.
in a sense.
Yeah.
I guess you could put it in that manner.
Yeah.
But of course, we are in the water as well. It's not just classic cars.
Right.
We have amazing vintage boats here, and our members do embrace and rally around this event. And we see several thousand people come through the gates.
Yeah.
I notice a lot of young people here, too.
There are, which is
Young-
it's a family-friendly
right.
event.
And, it's interesting that, we've been coming here long enough now that a lot of these events with these classic cars tend to be a lot of gray-haired people. And I'm not speaking out of class, am I? But we're seeing more and more youngsters, children, grandchildren, that are now either getting dad's car or grandpa's car, and they're going, yeah, I kind of like this. This is a nice thing to get into.
Well, I have to laugh because when I pulled in, I thought, man, my car is vintage. It's not restored, but definitely what I drive is vintage, right? It's 15, 20 years old. And I think that these kids are enjoying what their parents, what we experienced, right, as youngsters. And it's scary to think that my car is now a classic car, right? As we grow older, they keep getting younger. But these children are certainly out with their families and enjoying. There is a group over here, and I'm not quite sure who they are, but they're doing a youth judging. So all of the kids have been around with their own scorecards, and they are judging their own boats.
They walk through here, a group
their
of
own
youngsters
cars.
with the little blue shirts.
Yes.
They're all probably 10, 12, 13 years old walking through.
And younger.
Yeah.
And judging these cars. So it's a great way to pull your family in and enjoy the afternoon.
You live down here?
I do. I'm born and raised.
Where?
I'm in Lake City now, so I'm just on the other side of the bridge. But I grew up down the street about 4 miles in Nassau Bay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, my first radio job at KLYX Radio, which was originally in the Nassau Bay Shopping Center, but when I went to work there, they had moved over to Gemini Boulevard on El Camino Real and Bay Area Boulevard in a building back there. Of course, all right, I'll just say it. That was in 1971.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Shut up. Anyway, so I spent a number of months there. I wanted so badly to move down here.
You're telling me that.
Because I had never really experienced the area before. And I knew about NASA, clearly. But back then, it wasn't like this. It was very barren. This was a very isolated place that wasn't even part of Houston at the time. It was its own city, and it was teeny tiny. The only real subdivision was back there off of El Camino Real and Bay Area Boulevard, and right across the street from NASA. And that's where the astronauts lived over there. And then there was that famous bar. Is the bar still down on NASA Road 1 where the astronauts used to go? Because they closed that down. I don't know whether they tore it down or
They
what.
tore it down
They
when
did.
they did an expansion of Egret Bay, 270, and NASA Road 1 and El Camino, that
They
intersection.
didn't relocate it? They just tore it down?
No, you couldn't replace that.
No, I
so
mean,
there is
relocated
no
in
way
another
you
area.
could ever rebuild or relocate.
I believe
that.
they shot a scene in there for The Reluctant Astronaut, with Don
Don
Knotts.
Knotts?
I think so.
You are kidding.
I think so. I remember seeing the inside of it, and it was a dumpy little bar. But that's the way it was.
It was a neighborhood bar. You don't say dumpy.
Well, no,
it wasn't dumpy. It's iconic. It was iconic,
right.
for sure.
It's kind of like Griff's Bar in downtown Houston.
Very similar.
It's a very old building that was here before NASA was here.
With patina.
Yeah, it had patina.
It had patina.
That's it.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of history down here, and clearly NASA is at the center of it all, the Lyndon B. Johnson Manned Spacecraft Center.
Yes.
Well, Lakewood is part of that history. When, as you mentioned, the area was being built, and we were sleepy. I think, when was NASA built? I think 63 to 65 NASA.
Something like that, yeah.
NASA was built, or actually a little later than that. But the astronauts, while they were building their homes in El Lago and Taylor Lake and Nassau Bay, we had cabanas out on our south lawn. Wow. And the astronauts were living and staying in those cabanas and these are the original Apollo astronauts, Gemini, Mercury, while their homes were being built. So, we like to think here at Lakewood we were part of the history and we were part of that space program as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Building our community.
I think Cape Canaveral was built first, and then this came along because of the technology and launch capabilities for...
You would know more about that being from Michigan. I wouldn't.
Well, I read a lot.
He reads a lot.
But from being a sleepy little town, as you all called us, we are now the third largest recreational boating area in the United States.
Wow.
So
that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
And Kemah, since we're going to go back, Kemah obviously has got its own identity now. But back in the day, I remember coming down here and going over 146 back in there.
It's a drawbridge.
And there was also a place where you could go and get fresh caught seafood, and the guys, this fishermen, were all there. Their boats were undocked, and you go in there and buy it fresh off the boat.
That's right.
Yeah.
And the oysters too.
Not so much anymore.
Not so much anymore. But there are still restaurants in the area that they pull them right off the boats and they are served there.
Do you know a guy by the name of Rick Clapp?
Absolutely.
Well, I've been writing for Bay Area Houston Magazine for 25 years. Did you know that?
I did not.
Yeah. See, there you go. Taught you something, didn't I?
I learned something new today.
So there's car reviews in there by Don Armstrong. So now you can start looking.
He's one of the founding fathers as well.
Yeah, in different ways.
Exactly.
Lovey Howell learned something new today.
Lovey.
There you go, Lovey
I
Howell.
love that.
Great.
Yeah.
So how long did you stay on the island?
Yeah.
I thought I did live in Galveston for a while, so I thought I was there about 9 years.
Yeah.
A little longer than Lovey.
So where did you go to high school?
Clear Creek. What about you?
Westbury.
Westbury. So you were in town.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, not too far, right on the other side of the lake.
Yeah. Me and Colonel St. James went to Westbury High School.
Colonel St. James.
Colonel St. James, a rock and roll disc jockey, KRBE.
Colonel St. James.
Yeah, oh, shut up.
Oh, my gosh. That is a blast from the past.
Yes. Yeah.
Holy moly.
That's why we have him around.
Yeah, that's
wow.
right. Yeah, I can pull that card frequently.
Yeah.
So Colonel St. James.
Colonel St. James.
The Colonel St. James really went to your high school.
Yes. We went to high school together.
They're still friends. They're still buddies. Yeah.
We had Jay Buhner.
I remember him.
Jay Buhner was with Seattle Mariners for a long time. Yeah, he and Ken Griffey are still really good friends. But I don't know if anybody other than Jay that we've had that was prominently known in the United States, other than, of course, as we mentioned, the astronauts.
Yes, of course. And you still have them, and they still are down there, but we don't know them like we did the original seven.
Different times. Yeah.
Well, it's great to talk to you. So
Thank you.
If you're interested in Lakewood Yacht Club, I guess that you're the person to go to.
Absolutely, yes.
So how do we get a hold of you, Lovey?
You can look us up on lakewoodyachtclub.com. There's information about the club. We have an amazing youth seahorse sailing program. We call them the Seahorses.
Oh, wonderful.
So we have an internationally recognized and known youth sailing program. So if you are interested in getting out on the water, having your kids out on the water, it's a remarkable opportunity for them to learn not only sailing but life skills.
Well, it's a fun and different experience down here. There's no place else like it, this area in here.
Absolutely. There's no place like Lakewood.
There's not. That's true. And I said that from the very beginning. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, gentlemen.
It was a real pleasure.
Yeah, and thank you for being here today.
Julie Howell.
A.K.A.
Thurston Howell III's daughter. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Thanks again. Hey, the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In-Wheel Time Car Talk. We also video stream on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. Podcasts, yep, they're available 24/7 from your favorite podcast provider. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues from this year's Keels Wheels Concours d'Elegance right after this quick break.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000 square foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In-Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org. Saturday and Sunday, May 4th and 5th, you're invited to enjoy the 28th annual Keels Wheels Concours d'Elegance. See the largest collection of classic cars and boats in the U.S. on display at the beautiful Lakewood Yacht Club in Seabrook, Texas. This year's Keels Wheels features 60 years of Ford Mustangs and Donzi boats. There's plenty of free parking, and discount tickets are available online at keels-wheels.com. It's Keels Wheels, Saturday and Sunday, May 4th and 5th at the Lakewood Yacht Club in Seabrook. In-Wheel Time will be there, too. We'll see you there.
Welcome back to the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show, coming to you today from the 28th annual Keels Wheels Concours d'Elegance at the Lakewood Yacht Club in Seabrook, Texas. And you just heard a spot there a minute ago for God's Garage. Dick Langer, he's the volunteer facilities manager up there, stopped by to say hello, and we appreciate him and all the fine work that they do up there at God's Garage. Be sure and visit them. Yep, there goes the Black Hawk helicopter.
Hey, they were at the airport by my house, three of them.
Yeah.
Landed yesterday.
Yeah, they hang around every once in a while. I've had
then.
lunch with those guys. They're very nice. Mm-hmm. Those are very big helicopters.
Very big.
Very big.
Very big.
The blades on them, about that wide.
I know. I'm going to tub one out.
Tub one out. Yep. That's it. Well, they do have wheels on them.
I know.
Jay Matthews joins us now. Jay, who are you with?
I'm with
Jay Matthews.
I'm with Jay Matthews.
What does Jay Matthews do?
Jay Matthews is a retired rice farmer.
Oh.
A rice farmer.
Most people don't know that they grow rice in Texas, but they do.
Well, I do.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
well, good.
There's fewer and fewer rice farms these days. Most of them now are south of Houston,
right?
Down toward Angleton in that area, 288 area down there. But I've always wanted to ask a rice farmer, how and why do you put those big dirt berms in weird patterns out there in the farmland?
That follows the contour of the land, and so obviously the land is not perfectly square, so as the level changes, and normally those are run on 0.2 of a foot. So every time you see one of the, we call them a levee, every time you see a levee, it's dropped 0.2 of a foot. Those contours.
Yeah.
So that's what that's for.
So you can keep the water in that section,
right,
as opposed to having it all drained down to one end of the field.
That's correct.
Interesting.
I never knew that. Did you
Learn
know
some-
that?
No, but I've seen them all out in Winnie and all the places.
I fly over them all the time, and I'm going, I just don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense to
I
me.
knew that.
So how do you come up with that curvature like that?
Well, it's run on with a surveying instrument.
I got you. Okay.
I mean, now it's
So at some point, somebody has to go out there with one of those stakes and then the surveying thing, and they go, "Yep, that's that high. That's that high."
that's the way that's the way they used to do it.
Now it's all satellite stuff.
It's all, it's all
GPS.
Well, I'm retired. I hadn't done one in a while, but that's the way they do it.
Are you still active in that? Is it a family-run business now, or
No, actually, I'm a second generation farmer, but my son. Anyway, I was the last of the
I got you.
Last of the Mohicans, as they say.
Mohicans. You mentioned Winnie. That's where my farm was in Winnie.
Winnie, yeah.
What do you got here today?
I've got a 1908 Buick.
Well, as we like to call it in the hood, the Buick.
Buick.
You got your Buick in 1908.
1908.
When did they start making Buicks?
They started making them in 1903. And
Is this the second gen?
Well, David Buick was an engineer, and he was a plumber, and he patented the way to put enamel on cast iron, like for the old bathtubs or commodes or whatever.
Yep.
And he made a fortune in that, and then he got interested in motors, engines, and started this automobile company. But he was a better inventor than he was a businessman, and after about 2 years, he was out of the company. He made bad investments, and he died broke.
Well, whoever took over the company, I guess we'd say he did pretty good.
They did pretty good. It was an independent company, and then in 1910, when they formed General Motors, it became the keystone of General Motors.
Buick did.
Yeah.
Buick did.
It wasn't Chevy, wasn't Cadillac, none of the other ones. It was Buick.
Well, they put Buick, they bought Cadillac, they bought some other companies. Chevrolet didn't exist at that time. And then a guy named William Durant started. Well, he got overextended, and he got kicked out by his board of directors.
Right.
So then he started the Chevrolet company. Louis Chevrolet was a well-known race driver. He was the A.J. Ford of his day.
Right.
And so they used his name, and they started the Chevrolet company in the mid-teens. And then in 1915, I believe it was. No, it was a little later. Late teens, I forget the date.
Yep.
Anyway, Chevrolet bought General Motors. General Motors didn't buy Chevrolet. Chevrolet bought General Motors.
He's a Frenchman. Chevrolet was a race car driver overseas.
No, I think he was born in France, but he was American.
That's what it is.
I mean,
Okay.
he lived in America, and he was raced in. There were 3 Chevrolet brothers, and they all raced. And one of them won the Indy 500, and then died in a car wreck the next year. Racing. But anyway, and then in 1920. Durant made the same mistakes he'd made earlier, and he got bought out of General Motors again. So he was out of. He controlled General Motors twice, but he ended up.
So here's my question to you: why did you decide to go with a Buick of all the makes and models of cars in that era?
Well, I've got a number of antique cars, and this Buick happened to come up for sale, and I liked what I saw, so I bought it. And
what other cars do you have?
Well, I've got a 1910 Stanley Steamer that I've had here at Keels Wheels before.
Yes, I've seen it.
And I've got a 1910 Rio. I don't know if y'all.
Yeah, Rio. Yeah.
Remember the Ransom Olds. His last name was OLDS. Started at Oldsmobile, and in 1904 he had a falling out with his board of directors, so he left Oldsmobile. And
there's a lot of divorce in your story.
Yeah, but so in 1905 he decided to start a new car company, but he couldn't use the name Olds or Oldsmobile because it was incorporated in the other company.
Yeah.
So he used his initials, REO. So that's where Rios came from, and they made they quit making passenger cars in the mid-'30s, but they continued to make trucks, and you may
fire trucks.
Well, and you may remember Diamond Rio.
Yes,
right.
They made them up into the 70s. They merged with the Diamond Truck Company, and in the 20s, their trucks were called the Speed Wagons, and that's Oreo Speed Wagons. That's where if you go
the rock and roll band, I remember.
If you go online,
I'm old like you are,
yeah.
so I know I got it.
If you go online to look for Rio parts, all you're going to find is Oreo Speedwagon band records and
T-shirts and whatnot.
Yeah, whatnot. But anyway, and I've got a number of other cars, but
But are they all in the early 1900s?
No, it's in a kind of eclectic set. I've got a 1917 Chevrolet and a 1925 Veely. V is in Victor. Veely. Willard Veely was John Deere's grandson, and they made these cars in Moline, Illinois, same place they make John Deere's today, but it was a separate entity, and they made them from 1909 to 1929. They're kind of rare because in the 20s, when they were making literally 1 million Model Ts a year, they were making maybe 3,000 of these a year. And in the Veely Club, I think there's 230 known Veelys in the world.
Wow.
Wow.
Anyway, and I've got cars up to, I think my newest by year is I've got a '68 Chrysler Imperial convertible that I've had it here before too. So anyway, my wife says it's a sickness. So
yeah, I understand.
Okay, so I have to ask you. You've got this one car on display here. That's it, just one?
This year, yes.
Yeah. Well, it's a pleasure to talk to you.
Well, I enjoyed being talked to.
Do you live in the area?
I live in Belleville.
Okay.
Which is,
sure.
I guess everybody's familiar with Belleville.
Of course.
From Houston. Yeah.
Did you move there for a reason?
I did. My wife and I decided to get married, and she lived in Austin, and I lived in Winnie, and it was kind of this is 20 years ago when I retired and from farming, and it was kind of halfway in between, so we
compromised.
We compromised.
She was like 40 years lesser. She's clearly a lot younger than you are.
Well, actually,
the answer to that is yes, Don.
Yes,
she is.
Yes, Don, she is. Actually, this is interesting. We went from second grade on through high school together.
No, be darn.
And we weren't particularly friends or didn't date or anything, but we met, or I should say re-met, at our 35th high school class reunion. So, and then we got together. So,
well, congratulations. And congratulations on your car collection. Does she help you with that at all?
Well, she likes to ride in them.
Does she?
Yeah.
I like that, but I don't like that. Do you ever get that?
She's a gamer. She'll ride with the top down.
She's a gamer.
Right.
Yeah.
Your daily driver is what?
My daily driver is a Lincoln SUV.
Go.
But
I was waiting for you to say, yeah, got me an F-150.
Well, I do have a Dodge pickup that I drive when I need a pickup. It's not a daily driver, but I live about 5 miles out of town, and whenever I go into town, if I'm not in a big hurry or if it's not raining, I usually take one of my old cars. I'm well known around town, maybe not by name.
Now you're known worldwide.
Worldwide, yeah.
Just like the wide world of sports. That's
there you go.
There you go.
Jay Matthews, it's a pleasure.
Thank you, sir.
I enjoyed it. Thank you.
We did too. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hey, the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show coming to you today from Keels Wheels, the 28th annual. Mr. Morris, let's not do your auto history here. Let's do it on the other side of the break, if that's okay with you.
Works for me, yes, sir.
All right, very good. And we'll do some news things, and we got stuff.
We're gonna kibitz.
Kibitz.
I'm ready.
Thank you. We'd love to hear from you. Shoot us an email. The address here, info@inwheeltime.com. Time for a quick break. You're on the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show, streaming and podcasting around the planet. Look for us on your favorite provider.
The original group of Loopy Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipes mean when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the original Loopy Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here's the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Loopy Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Speaking of original, nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Loopy Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Loopy Tortilla Katy is another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Loopy's. It's located just off I-10 and the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggie Land? Head to the Loopy Tortilla in College Station, located just around the corner from Kyle Field. It's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Headed east to Louisiana, stop in at the Loopy Tortilla in Beaumont. It too's on I-10. You can't miss it. The original group of Loopy Tortilla restaurants invites you in for the best Tex-Mex anywhere. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is having another car social Saturday morning, May 18th from 8 to 11. It's a car cruise-in like no other. Expect Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Corvettes, and the featured brand Porsche. Get social at this special cruise-in event. You'll also see Gulf Coast Auto Shield's private workshop and learn about their many products and services. Questions are welcomed. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway near West Airport Boulevard, just south of the Southwest Freeway. The Car Social featuring Porsche takes place Saturday morning, May 18th from 8 to 11. Tell your friends, and no matter what car you have, bring it and enjoy this rare opportunity to see some of Houston's finest rides. In Wheel Time will bring its Car Talk show there too, so join us for another Car Social at Gulf Coast Auto Shield, Saturday morning, May 18th, 8 to 11 at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway. Visit gcautoshield.com to see the show flyer for more details.
There we go. Sorry. I was going to say here we go, and then David potted up the microphone.
Oh, David.
But here we go, David. Hey, podcasting and streaming around the globe, it's the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show today, coming to you from the 28th annual Keels and Wheels Concours d'Elegance. Under the trees and in the water at the beautiful Lakewood Yacht Club in Seabrook, Texas. Just ahead, another guest from today's Car and Boat Show. Jeff has a special segment on donks. And it's all just ahead. We're also going to have auto history right out of the box right here, right now. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin.
Yes, sir.
Chief engineer and bottle washer David Ainsley is with us today. We got him out of bed just in time. Don Armstrong here with you. So glad that you could join us. Today in auto history, and it's kind of fitting because there are a lot of classics here.
Yes,
There's also a section of resto mods that are here. And the other thing is, this is this year featuring Ford Mustangs, so there's lots of those. As a matter of fact, there's that one right back there, which is the actual original Mustang.
Yep.
That is a pre-production model that none of the parts of today's replacement parts will fit on that car. It's a very unique car. We interviewed him at the Houston Autorama, and interesting story.
Yes, and Eric's going to join us about 12. To talk about his entire collection that he's got over here.
All
today.
right.
Yeah, because we talked to him about that car.
Yes.
Because it was right across from us at Autorama. All right.
All those red cars are his.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and get going here for this segment of the show. Today in auto history, which is appropriate for the Keels and Wheels.
There's two significant events this week that really stood out to me. April 28th, 1956, the Ford Skyliner hardtop convertible.
Wait a minute, this isn't April 28th.
And it's not a Skyliner.
This week.
In auto history.
That's the Oldsmobile. Okay. Oh, we'll do the Oldsmobile. So, Oldsmobile.
Mike puts together the video for all of this. That's why every once in a while, when you see a commercial
it makes you wonder what he was doing whenever he did this.
When you see a commercial for Pepsodent and you find one for,
Crest.
X-Lax or something.
X-Lax, Mike got it out of order.
Yeah.
X-Lax
Like
is good.
Wondering what he's doing here. But anyway,
we got a car up there.
Well, this week, Oldsmobile closed its doors this week, April 29th. And this week
That's
it was
not
100.
This week, though. This is May the 5th.
It's this week all in general. 29th is Monday.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That's what I said.
This
week.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Oldsmobile was 107 years old when it closed down. It made more than 35 million cars. And there were a lot of firsts that Oldsmobile did, including the curved dash. But one thing I found was interesting, the assembly line, not the moving assembly line that Henry Ford did, but they had the assembly line prior to Henry Ford doing that, which caused them to build so many cars. And the Hydromatic, you've heard about it, you've read about it.
Mm-hmm.
They came out with the Hydromatic, along with Cadillac. The last car to roll off the Oldsmobile assembly line was an Alero GLS four-door sedan.
Alero.
Everybody on the assembly line signed off on the car, and it's now in the GM Heritage Center in Sterling Heights, Michigan.
That's too bad.
Yeah, too bad. So,
too bad that it's in the museum.
No, too bad they quit making them. The 1956, the Ford Skyline. That one right there, the Skyline hardtop convertible debuts. It is the first mass-produced American retractable hardtop convertible. And the idea was to allow drivers to enjoy open-air experience of a convertible without sacrificing the comfort and protection of a hardtop. It was really popular when it first came out, but did not make it too long. It was discontinued in 1959 due to declining sales. That was the two things I found significant this week in auto history. Well, they were in order on my paper.
Well, they were. Where are we going next, Mon ami?
I don't know at this point. I'm all confused.
I need to plug something in here.
Okay, well, let's plug something in.
You want to do my cruising?
I do. No, actually, what I'd like to do is Jeff Zekin's World of Automotive-dom.
Oh.
Automotive-dom.
Dumb. Okay.
Automotive-dom. And Jeff has a feature this week on donks.
I do.
Do you know what donks are? I think that the craze started out of Miami, did it not?
It did. It absolutely did. And this is what we got. So here we go. The donk. What is a donk? It's a culture. It's an origin. All you need to know about it. In the automotive world, the term donk might invoke the sky-high lifted cars, particularly sedans and coupes, or coupes since we're down here, boasting gigantic wheels and vibrant custom paint jobs. But what exactly is a donk? And where did this particular automotive subculture originate, Mike? Well, the answer is not quite straightforward. It's a blend of history, culture, and personal expressions. A donk is a customized car, generally an American sedan or a coupe, that has been significantly lifted, fitted with oversized wheels and ranging from 22-inch to 30-inch wheels in diameter. The car is often adorned with custom paint jobs, airbrushed, and extravagant interiors. Well, that being said, the term donk traces its roots back to the Chevrolet Impala. In the 70s, a subculture emerged from where people began to modify Impalas. The 71 Impala and a logo featured the leaping antelope. That's where it came from. Resembled a donkey to some. The car soon earned the nickname Donkey, which is later shortened to what? Donk. Over the years, the donk trend has spread through the U.S. and even overseas. Today, the donk culture is an intrinsic part of the hip-hop culture, urban scenes, and celebrated through car shows, music videos, and video games.
Shot caller.
Yeah, you go ahead. You can just back me up with that singing. I don't mind.
20-inch blades on my Impala. The caller.
Here's some types of donks. The box donk refers to the 80s.
It could be a bonk.
It could be 80s Chevy Caprice or Impalas that are the box shape. That's why it's the box donks. The bubble donk, term for rounded Chevy models from the 90s.
Yeah, God, this
High risers is a term broadly used for any significant race car, irrespective of the make and or model. The El Camino donks.
El Camino donks.
El Camino donks.
That would be El Caminox.
El Caminox. Yeah, that's what I said. A playful term used for the El Camino modified donk styles.
They have race donks?
So wait a minute. So when you donk out a car, generally speaking, the donks that I have ever seen, you have to cut the wheel well opening.
In some cases, yeah. I mean, depending on how big
you
you
ain't going to get the tire underneath there without doing it.
Depending on how big you want to go. Obviously, you're going to have to do some modifications to it.
But that means that you can't put it back to its original condition.
Oh, no. If you're going to do a donk, you might as well just go donk.
When you go all the way.
Once you go donk, you don't go back.
There's no going back,
There's no going back on a donk. No,
you would know that, Mars. Do you have any donks over there in Neaterville?
There's a few.
You got a club. You got a donk club out there, don't you?
No.
He wouldn't know that.
Now there's a few. There's one guy that's got it's a Buick convertible.
A Buick.
And it comes through town every once in a while, and it's a sharp-looking car.
Is it a donk?
Yeah. It's
Got,
not
like
it's
40-inch
not on a
wheels?
30. No. He's not up that high yet, but he's working his way up.
Oh.
He's about as far as he can go.
Without cutting the wheel open.
Yes. And the body on it's really nice. I think that's the reason he hadn't done it yet.
Well, and then you get into not only the donks, but you get into the lowrider aspect on the other direction. But it's still the custom paint and all the things you do with the interior, all of that styling is part of a culture.
Can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
When you get ready to do that, go buy one that's already done.
Yeah, because they just customizing the vehicle.
I know.
It's like doing a resto mod.
Because
you gotta put
you'll
money in
get
it.
by a lot cheaper if you buy one that's already done than you will doing it yourself.
Absolutely.
It's kind of like buying a boat without all of the accessories, the anchor, the life vests, the skis, whatever it is, the fishing gear, because that's what costs you really as much money as the dang boat.
And then you got to figure insurance. How are you going to insure it? How do you insure a donk? So there's all
donk
part of
bucks.
Donk bucks. There you go. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
And then how do you start it? With donkeys.
Oh.
Donkeys. Good, Mars.
Wow.
God.
We had a donkey on
Is
the air
this
not very
show
long
over
ago.
with yet?
Who was
all
the
these
donkey?
people
What was
that
the
are
name
out
of
here
donkey?
going, oh, my God, they talk about this
What
crap
was the name
on
of the donkey that we had on the show?
Monty.
Monty.
The singing
Monty.
donkey.
Singing donkey.
Matter of fact, I saw a post that she did just this past week about Monty.
Need to
He's
get her
doing
back
well.
on. Yeah.
He didn't have his fly mask on, didn't have anything for his feet, for the flies and all that stuff.
Yeah.
He's doing good.
Well, good.
Good for him.
I know that you're glad to hear that.
I am.
All right. I have something other than that to talk about that we missed early on.
Okay.
Did we do the events calendar, Mars? We did the cruise in.
Yeah.
I've got events.
Yeah, we did the events.
We did the events.
Yes,
did we
yes.
do the cruise in?
No, I haven't done the cruise in.
Well, let's do the cruise in.
I got it right. Yeah. Okay.
I forgot to write it down
That's
because
okay.
everything's so out of order and jacked up.
Well, it's the wind.
But is that what we're blaming
I
it
think
on?
it is, yeah.
Yes.
So today, Classics and Coffee Car Meet. It's at Hungerford Crush Cafe at 15250 Highway
What time is
105
that?
in Montgomery County, but probably not going off. It started this morning. It's going on right now, but because of the weather and I think the flooding is probably not going to happen.
What's the time for that?
Till 10.
It's 11:40.
I know, so it's done. Kingwood Classic Cruisers and Coffee at Whataburger.
Now
in Kingwood.
I don't feel so bad now.
Well,
8:30 to 10. That's done.
It's done, but there you go. Kingwood,
Wait a minute, wait.
Kingwood's not going to happen because of the flooding. So I'm just letting
Okay,
you know
all
what's
right.
not going to happen.
You're trying
today.
to get out of the fact that it's all done.
Let's
already.
go to tomorrow.
Let's do that.
Let's do
I feel so
tomorrow.
much better.
I know, don't you? Sunday. Well, we got the big one, Chrome and Coffee at Avalon.
You've been
Diner.
rectified.
There you go. And then, of course, Woodlands Cars and Coffee for a Cause. That's tomorrow, 6:30 to 10:30. If it kicks off, not really sure, but that one goes every Sunday, first Sunday of every
Every
month.
Sunday?
First Sunday of every
okay.
month. So,
And tomorrow is also scheduled to have the Chrome and Coffee at
Didn't I just
Avalon
say
Diner.
that? You did, yeah.
Did you say that?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I wasn't paying attention.
That's okay.
I was focusing in on Mars and where our next guest is because Mars is in charge of bringing the guests, going out and gathering
well,
them,
he's in,
and there's nobody here.
He's the support. Let's get that guy over there. I don't know. There we go. Let's get these Mercedes
Let me,
boys.
No, better yet, let me do some news.
do some
Mars,
news.
while
Do
you
some
go,
news
while
while I
you
walk
tap
around.
dance our way through this show. Louisiana, this actually, you should stay and listen to this, but I'm going to give you a free pass right now.
All right.
This is a great story. From Automotive News, a Louisiana dealership has been cleared of liability for a crash caused by an 80-year-old customer test driving a demo car. The State Court of Appeal refused to reinstate a negligent entrustment suit against Moss Motors BMW filed by a driver who was injured after the customer rear-ended her vehicle only a few minutes after leaving the dealership lot.
Oh, boy.
The customer, Doris Prudhomme. We don't know whether she's any relationship to Don.
Don, yeah.
But Doris walked with a cane and was driven by a niece to the dealership in Lafayette, Louisiana.
Okay.
She hadn't driven in 6 months following a head-on crash, but had been medically cleared to drive that day.
Is that how she got the cane?
According to the decision, in December 2019, a saleswoman copied Prudhomme's license, showed her how to use the vehicle's dial shift, and recommended she do a test drive on public streets rather than in the store's parking lot as Prudhomme requested. The saleswoman didn't ask why Prudhomme was using a cane, and Prudhomme didn't mention the prior crash or the 6-month hiatus in her driving.
That's how she got the cane. Yeah.
The appeal court unanimously upheld a lower court judge's dismissal of claims against Moss Motors BMW and its insurance company. Quote, the lender of a vehicle is not responsible for the negligence of the borrower unless he had or should have had knowledge that the borrower was physically or mentally incompetent to drive, the court said in an April 17th decision written by Judge Walter Lanier III. Thank you, Judge.
Mm-hmm.
The owner or lender of a vehicle has no legal duty, quote, to make an inquiry into one's driving habits or record when no reason exists to place the lender on notice of the borrower's disability or incompetence.
You got to have insurance.
A lawyer for Moss Motors, Brant Kakamo, C-A-C-A-M-O, Kakamo, said dealerships should confirm drivers of their demos and loaners have a valid license and, quote, it wouldn't hurt, end quote, to confirm whether they have their own insurance. It wouldn't hurt.
No. Well, obviously she got hurt. She's on a cane.
Yeah, that was in the head-on that she had 6 months earlier.
Yep. Amazing.
Whoops.
What people
I have
do.
more news.
Did she buy the car?
Probably not, would be my guess.
Making sure.
Yeah. Brian Hardiman. This is kind of in the old people's realm thing.
Great.
And I guess it kind of fits in here for all of our old folks that are in attendance here at Keels and Wheels today.
Now you
I am one of them. Thank you, and you don't have to pat me on the back. I know.
We're not going to.
Brian Hardiman, founder of Continental Automotive Group in Austin, Texas, was arrested for the second time in 2 months in connection with multiple suspected arson fires in Austin. This from Automotive News.
We just drove through there.
Hardiman, 75, was arrested on Wednesday for the second time since February. In conjunction with last week's arrest, he was charged with 2 counts of first-degree felony arson and 1 count of second-degree felony arson, according to a statement from the city of Austin. A hearing for Hardiman on those charges were held Tuesday. He is set to be back in court on June the 12th. I can't make this up.
No.
Hardiman was arrested on felony arson and burglary charges in connection with a February 25th fire at a former bike shop in Austin and posted bond. In that case, security's cameras showed an older man entering the building, setting fires, exiting the building, and coming to the property in a white Mercedes-Benz SUV, which appeared to be a GLS 580. In Austin, fire department investigators said they were able to identify the man as Hardiman. The fire department believes Hardiman is responsible for 4 arson fires in the city since December, citing evidence from security footage and investigative work. First fire was on December 25th. I believe that's Christmas Day, if I'm not mistaken, at a property Hardiman was attempting to buy, according to a news release. Fires also were intentionally lit February 17th and February 20th at another location that investigators think were intended to clear 2 mobile homes that were hindering the sale or development of the property. Hardiman was observed setting the Christmas Day fire in surveillance video obtained by the insurance company, according to the release. Hardiman retired from Continental Automotive in 2017, but still manages a small portion of the group's real estate portfolio.
Great.
His son, Will Hardiman, told Automotive News in March. The auto retailer is run by Hardiman's children. Continental Automotive has 4 dealerships in Austin, 1 in Dallas, and 2 in San Juan, Texas, according to its website.
Wow.
I thought this was going to be an electric car story.
No. It was not an electric car story.
Starting fires everywhere.
No, but I guess something happens when you turn 70. You just you propelled to get out there and set fires.
Mike was looking for Hardiman. He's out here in the crowd somewhere.
He's not?
He is. He's out there looking for him.
Well, there's that. Let me see what we're doing here on time because, I've not done too well here lately, timing this whole event. Today's In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is sponsored by the group of original Lupi Tortilla restaurants in Houston, Beaumont, and College Station, Gulf Coast Auto Shield, and Pro-Am Auto Accessories. We will continue right after a quick break from the 28th Annual Keels and Wheels at Lakewood Yacht Club right after this.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call, and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org. Saturday and Sunday, May 4th and 5th, you're invited to enjoy the 28th annual Keels Wheels Concours d'Elegance. See the largest collection of classic cars and boats in the U.S. on display at the beautiful Lakewood Yacht Club in Seabrook, Texas. This year's Keels Wheels features 60 years of Ford Mustangs and Donzi boats. There's plenty of free parking, and discount tickets are available online at keels-wheels.com. It's Keels Wheels, Saturday and Sunday, May 4th and 5th at the Lakewood Yacht Club in Seabrook. In Wheel Time will be there, too. We'll see you there.
Welcome back to the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show, 28th Annual Keels and Wheels Concours d'Elegance under the trees at Lakewood Yacht Club. Mr. Morris, who's our next guest?
Well, joining us now, the judges are starting to get some of the cars judged, so people will kind of leave them, but Tom Williamson has got his finally judged, and he has got a 1938 Packard Restomod sitting down underneath.
A Restomod?
Wow.
Yes. Gorgeous car.
Very cool.
Tom?
Why
did you decide to Restomod a 38?
Actually, I'm the second owner. And
so you bought it Restomod?
I bought it Restomod. It was the only one of its kind on California on the West Coast.
Oh.
The first owner used it to travel up to his home in Sierra Nevada and back. It was actually built in the state of Washington, I believe. And it's a true...
Well, those people up there are a little strange anyway.
They're not Texan, but it's a true Restomod. There's parts from... Corvair, Cadillac, Mercedes, Mustang seats.
Okay, so I got to know. So is the engine been resto-modded?
Well, the engine's a 402, which is an early 70s Chevy engine, big block. I mean, he squeezed that in and put the frame and put the body over it.
And this is a 38?
1938. It's a Model 110, which was a business class Packard back then.
Oh, my God.
You can't miss it when you get out walking around.
So I can't see a picture of it, but in my mind, the picture is of a gangster car from Chicago. Is that what it is? Is it black?
No, it's blue. Let me find a picture for you here.
Yeah, it's not the squared off sedan.
They don't have to be. This could be a Bonnie and Clyde car.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Let me see that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not a gangster, but I don't know the history of it. So.
That is very, very cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's very much like Ford.
Yeah. And it's a driver. It's actually not a show car. A lady from Keels and Wheels saw it at the Autorama, where I actually got first place this year, and she said, come on, Keels and Wheels, which is a great honor.
Now, what about the chassis?
The chassis is he built a really strong X-frame, and it's a Chevy 2 clip on the front.
Gotcha.
In a early 70s Corvette rear end, so it's rock solid. It's
it rides great.
That's exactly right. The reason I got the vehicle, my wife is a I don't want to take too much of your time, is a double cancer survivor. So the second time she got cancer, kind of did a number. So to get her out of the house, I said, let's get a car, go to the shows, and get you out of the house.
Yeah.
So that's why we got it.
For a
And
cruise.
this is the only one I found like it. They had a full windshield, so she can see out.
Yeah,
So-
absolutely.
You should have been on the hot rod tour of Texas with us.
Oh, yeah, that was a
that was
blast.
last weekend.
Okay.
You would have loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
because
yearly event.
that's one of those cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's the only Restomod Packard I've ever seen.
Me too.
There's some gorgeous ones over here, but
They're not resto
No,
models.
They're restored.
Yeah.
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 Well, what a fabulous car.
Thank you,
Air
yeah.
conditioned.
Yes, it's got air conditioning right now. There's I think expansion valve was leaking, but yeah, it's got a brand new compressor, and there's still a few things I got to take care of on it.
Tinker with, as they
so-
say.
It's always the case.
What size motor did you say?
It's a 402. Back in the early 70s, they took a 396 and beefed it up. It may have a mild cam in it. I don't have the build book, which kind of ticked me off, but yeah, it's a 402. Yeah.
Nice. So it's got enough horsepower to get that big, heavy thing down the road.
It's a T400 3-speed. It's probably 350 horse to the rear end. Maybe I haven't had it checked, but yeah.
So it's plenty.
Yeah, it makes for a nice driver.
Yeah, it's just a cruiser, like I say. We can get her in there and go to the shows.
Does it fit in the garage?
Barely. It's got extended. He put extended bar braces for the bumpers, chrome front and back.
Yeah.
So yeah.
To modify it to get it to fit the car, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking he needs to drive up to Samson's Performance and have that checked out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with Samson's Performance?
The New Braunfels?
We
No.
on the hot rod tour, this is the second time that we've done. This is only the third hot rod tour of Texas. So last year we were introduced to Samson's Performance.
Okay.
And young people doing old people work. I mean, experience, quality out the yin
Oh,
yang.
man.
Family.
The equipment,
Yeah. And
machinery.
they do their own engines there. They mainly do competition engines for off-road stuff.
Endurance, yeah.
Yeah, but they if you walk in there, you go, yeah, I want these boys to do my stuff.
The challenge on the AC for this is the engine takes up a huge amount of the compartment because you know how it comes to a point.
Yep.
Well, the exchanger for the AC in front of the radiator, it's tough to get to without having to disassemble the top of the vehicle. You have to take off the hood and everything to get to it to find out what's going on with the AC. So it would be a challenge to do. Also, when it originally was set up, the vents would automatically close and open depending on the temperature.
Yes.
That's not working right now. So that whole thing with the AC has to be looked at and modified.
Get a tilt clip.
Yeah,
no,
tilt front end on it. No. Talk about a nightmare. That'd be one of those challenges that you would have to be the lead on that
I know.
because I don't know. Jeff was my lead on fixing the windshield washers on the Corvette. So
Tragic. Very
Yeah.
tragic.
Okay.
yeah, it was. They worked.
Yeah, I
so.
found one good mechanic in Huffman. His name's Bob Smith. He helps me with it because I don't have a lift in my garage. and
Bob
it's low.
Smith.
And
Wait a minute, wasn't that the dad of Howdy Doody?
it could be.
Uncle Bob, yes, Uncle
that
Bob
might
Smith.
be before my time, but the
Well, I fit that
tells you
category.
something.
Yeah, tells
and
you
I
everything.
got a good electrician as well. So, but thank you for having me, guys. This
Hey,
is
man,
it's
thank
a real
you.
honor to meet you guys.
We're going to
Well,
come check
you
it
too.
out here after the show.
Yeah. Okay.
Can't miss it. It's gorgeous.
Yeah. I
Thank you,
appreciate it.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
We'll test
Tom
drive
Williamson
it later.
is 38, Model 110 Restomod Packard. One of a kind, no doubt. All right. We're going to take a quick break. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show from the 28th Annual Keels Wheels continues right after a quick break.
The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipes mean when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the original Lupi Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here's the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Lupi Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Speaking of original, nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupi Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupi Tortilla Katy is another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupi's. It's located just off I-10 and the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggie Land? Head to the Lupi Tortilla in College Station, located just around the corner from Kyle Field. It's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Headed east to Louisiana, stop in at the Lupi Tortilla in Beaumont. It too's on I-10. You can't miss it. The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants invites you in for the best Tex-Mex anywhere. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is having another car social Saturday morning, May 18th from 8 to 11. It's a car cruise-in like no other. Expect Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Corvettes, and the featured brand Porsche. Get social at this special cruise-in event. You'll also see Gulf Coast Auto Shield's private workshop and learn about their many products and services. Questions are welcomed. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway near West Airport Boulevard, just south of the Southwest Freeway. The Car Social featuring Porsche takes place Saturday morning, May 18th from 8 to 11. Tell your friends, and no matter what car you have, bring it and enjoy this rare opportunity to see some of Houston's finest rides. In Wheel Time will bring its Car Talk show there too, so join us for another Car Social at Gulf Coast Auto Shield, Saturday morning, May 18th, 8 to 11 at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway. Visit gcautoshield.com to see the show flyer for more details.
Like sands through the hourglass.
Oh, boy.
This is the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. It's a television show.
I know. It's still on, too.
Is it really?
I think so. Yeah.
What was the name of it?
As the World Turns.
Well, like sands through an hourglass. Today, coming to you from the 28th Annual Keels and Wheels Concours d'Elegance.
I read a lot.
At the Lakewood Yacht Club in Seabrook, Texas. No, you don't. Another guest from today's Car and Boat Show. Jeff has... You already did the cruise-in calendar, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
I
messed all that up, remember?
Well, I didn't mess it up.
No, I did. I mean,
did you mess it up?
Well, there are times.
Well, yeah,
okay.
because the cruise-in calendar, all the cruise-ins have already happened.
Yeah,
and Jeff tried to pull the wool over our eyes.
I
here,
did.
but we weren't standing for it.
And they're all in areas that are flooding, so they're probably not going to be kicked off anyway. So
we'll have the stories making automotive news headlines this week at some point during this hour. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin, chief engineer and bottle washer, IT director of whatever. David Ainsley is here with us today, and also with us, Eric Lipper. We met Eric at the Autorama. His display was right in front of the In Wheel Time booth at Autorama. And I looked at the... Looks like a regular Chevy, Ford Mustang.
And got right behind you.
And beautiful car. The top was down on it. And went over there and started talking to him. He says, oh, yeah, this is a one of one. Well, you know, we're in car business. We know about one of ones before. No, this is 1 minus 1 because this one wasn't even going down the assembly line.
Let him tell it.
Eric, it's good to see you.
Well, it's good to see you guys.
It's good to be seen.
What we're looking at is a car that was built December 9th of 1963. Now, think about that. Just a few weeks after JFK's assassination, these guys in Dearborn are in a building hand-putting together the first Mustang convertible. And you're looking at it.
Back there.
Behind you.
Yeah. What a couple of things that really are unique that help document its provenance is, aside from the VIN number and everything, the inner
Does it have a VIN number?
It does. It does. The inner wheelhouses are all beat down because after they put the car together, they'd only built coupes to that point, and they realized when they put the convertible top stack down, there was no place for it to go, so they just beat it out of the way to make room.
Engineer.
And then when they the framing of the convertible is a little more structural than the coupe. Right. So when they went to turn the wheel, guess what? The wheel wouldn't turn far enough. So there's cutting torch marks on the subframe of the car so they could get the wheel to turn.
But that's not unusual because this is a pre-production car.
Right.
And that's why they call them pre-production cars. So they figure out what in the world we need to do to get this thing to go down the assembly line and affordably.
Right. And remember, no assembly line on that one. This is just a bunch of guys with Miller beers in a room, right?
Yeah. I don't know as if they had beers, but whatever. Yeah.
And that car is an inch shorter than the production car.
And the doors are longer.
Doors are the same, but the jambs are all leaded in on that car.
That's it, jambs. I knew it was something to do with the doors.
Yeah, the door jambs are leaded in because that's also, this car had several good duties. One was on April 17th, 1964. it sat on the turntable at the New York World's Fair.
That's the turntable car.
It is. So they unveiled that car, and then they also used it for the photography of the brochure, so they wanted their door jambs to look better than what the consumers were really going to get.
And you have all that documentation for it?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yeah, everything.
Wow.
This car is so well documented that when Ed Bailey got the car, who was the person that bought it from the original owners, they took it apart on video and videoed every piece of the disassembly so they could prove why these parts are different and how it all went together. And so you can even search the first Mustang on YouTube, and you can watch this car come apart in about, and they reduced it. It's still 50 minutes long.
We've had a gentleman on that's the Ford historical archivist, I guess, out of Dearborn.
Right. Yeah.
So I wonder if he's probably got information on this as well.
Oh, yeah. Well, this car has been at Pebble Beach. It's been Mustang Club of America. It's been to Amelia Island.
You bought it for this reason, though. So you can take it out, show it, be proud of it.
Yeah,
it's mine.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Talk to people, idiots like us.
You know, my favorite part is it's a really great car. It looks wonderful. Ran out of gas coming into the show.
You can still do that.
Gas gauge doesn't work.
Oh, and you're raffling it off today.
I am. The tickets are $1 million a piece.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So, and you've got it up on blocks because?
Oh, it sort of makes it stand out because, you know what, if you put that car on the ground, you know what it looks like? Every Mustang convertible.
Yeah, it does.
But when you put it on blocks, it automatically looks special, doesn't it?
Well, it is.
Yeah.
It does. It does make it look special. You know, I will tell you this. The hubcaps, and those are actually wheel covers, but I love those from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Then they changed. Those wheel covers changed the way wheel covers were perceived across all makes and models of cars.
Right. And, you know, those are slightly different than the production cabs.
They are.
Yeah, because it's got that spinner on it. The production one just says Mustang.
Yeah, like the knockoff on it.
But were these wheels available later on in the production run?
That wheel cover was never produced in production. It was only in pre-production. Really? Yeah, because they take that spinner off in early '64 and just put the Mustang logo in place. Then there was a brief run where the spinners came back, and I think the Ford lawyers said, "Nah, you know, this is going to come off, and it's going to shear
liability.
It's going to hurt somebody."
Yeah.
And so they, you know, remember when hubcaps used to fall off your car?
Absolutely, all the time. Hit a bump, and there they go.
So the engineers, when they were putting that together in the room with their Miller beer, did they just have those hubcaps hanging on the wall or something?
Well, in fact, the spinner, if you look at it, if you look at some early 50s Thunderbirds, that's out of the Thunderbird parts bin.
Is it a 2 or 3 piece spinner?
It's
three.
It's three. It's three. The other thing that's kind of neat when you look at this car, see how flat the convertible top is?
Yes.
The bows are different on that car than they are on any production
I've never
car.
seen one that flat.
It's closer to a Jeep top than it is
Oh, be darned.
a Mustang. And, you know, the other thing that's really unique, and this is really Mustang geek stuff, but you're talking to me.
Yeah.
The fenders of the car are different production than the production car. So there's extra metal left over when they break it in the brake, you know, and stamp it out, that they trimmed off on the production cars. But this car does not get it trimmed off. So, you know, the fenders are just truly unique.
Do you drive it very often?
Oh,
hell, I wouldn't drive it anyway.
Well, he said he drove it in, so obviously trailered and then drove it in.
Yeah, I drove it all the way from the front of the club to where it sits. I'm putting...
Has it got a 6 in it?
No, it's a 260 V8.
260.
Out of a Falcon. And it's got a Falcon V8 in it with a Thunderbird power steering pump and a Thunderbird brake pedal. So
they were just pulling parts together.
That's right.
Go to the parts bin.
They're trying to get the car together. One of the other things that's really fun, and this is, again, Mustang geek stuff, is if you go look at the dash pad in the car.
Yes.
It's short of the windshield pillar by about a ½ inch on each side.
That much?
Yeah, that's so you can see how much narrower the production Mustang got.
So it's got a production dash pad on it.
It does.
Yeah, a custom build. Wow.
Yep. Production dash pad, but the sheet metal, and it's partially because it's some guys with Miller beer putting the car together in the warehouse, because some of the parts are identical to the production, but it's how they welded it together in their warehouse. They hadn't fine-tuned the jig.
And I'm sure that they were under some sort of pressure deadline to get the car together, painted, and your phone's ringing.
Yep, I got it.
And to get it painted and ready to show at the New York World's Fair.
And don't forget, at the times with the assassination 2 days before that, so there was probably a lot of stuff going on internally with the organization, with Ford.
Right.
Personal things.
Well,
with
and you're
people.
also talking 1963.
Right. Well, remember, this car, the stampings are December 9th of 63, so that's the date they produced it, the parts. But they had to get it ready by April 17th, 64, and it had to be show quality.
And it had to be shipped there.
Right.
Yeah. And the other thing that comes to mind, and I've never actually seen the car on display, in the display itself, but I'm sure they said, we need to have the car so we can make it fit the display.
Right. I don't doubt that at all. And they had built the coupes first.
Yep.
So that serial number is 140. So think about this. There's about 3 million Mustang serial numbers. That's 140. Basically, cars 1 through 139 are coupes. And they had finished the coupes, and now it's time, let's try a convertible. And that's the...
So what did they do with the first
number
139? Did they send those to the dealers?
No, this is pretty interesting. So if you go look at or study the New York World's Fair, Walt Disney joint ventured with Ford, and they did this thing called I want to call it called like the Ride Through America or something.
Yep.
They took 100 Mustangs. They literally put on a track inside the New York World's Fair, pulled by cable, and people could ride in the new Mustang. But those cars didn't have engines or transmissions.
Oh, wow.
And they did that with 100 of the cars. So they were built purely for the fair. And then cars had different assignments, so this one was built to be the show car. So that's why they took time and leaded the door jams and did all that work.
Wow.
So everything that came off the assembly line got a number, even if it didn't get an engine or transmission, because it was just going to be a cable car.
Yeah. And remember, Mike, when you talk about it, it's not an assembly line. This is a pilot car, so it's done in a building.
With Miller Beer.
And so what they did was they printed it, they punched out 200 VIN numbers. And Ford said, you have this many VIN numbers to get this car right. That's it. You got 200. Because they spit 200 cars out in an hour in production.
Yeah, nowadays, yeah.
So who was head of Ford at the time? Was it Iacocca?
No, it was Henry Ford II.
Okay.
So Iacocca pushed the Mustang through the system. Henry Ford II was still running it, and then shortly thereafter, Iacocca ascends to the throne till '78 when he gets terminated and goes off to the K car.
Mm-hmm.
But this was probably his most famous vehicle.
Most impactful vehicle for sure.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. 60 years. Now, I've got a Corvette over there. The Corvette's made at 70.
Let's transition now from that to your collection of cars that apparently are all red.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And how many cars do you have in your red collection?
We're not allowed to say that publicly.
His wife's listening.
Yeah, I saw my wife standing right there, and
is that her right there?
Uh-huh.
That's taking notes.
That's my wife, and she.
I'm so sorry.
She doesn't like to
she
know.
She was over here taking pictures too.
No, I got to tell you, but isn't she a beautiful woman?
Yes.
Yeah. And she's put up with me for 30 years, and it's all taking.
We've only put up with you for 2, and we still don't know how we've done that.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, fortunately, the car hobby is something that she appreciates, so that helps me collect. And my collection is only really limited by the fact that I'm one of the few collectors that I'm the chief mechanic, transporter, valet.
You do it all.
Yeah, I do it all. And so,
So you're not
on.
officially entitled to tell us the exact number of cars in the collection, but give us a rough estimate. You got 2, 10, 20?
30.
30. Okay. Fair enough.
Roughly.
Now, is Lipper's Garage
is that about
nearby?
Right? 30?
So, Lipper Garage, this is very much my personality. We got enough cars, and I'm like, we bought a trailer. And I'm like, well, that trailer just looks too plain. It needs a logo. So I have a friend of mine make a logo, and we just said Lipper Garage, right? So then I'm like, well, we got to get shirts and hats too, because that's the way you go.
Yeah.
And so Lipper
Notice
Garage
that
is
we don't have any.
We just got shirts.
I'm gonna get you some. So the Lipper Garage is 2 locations. One is at my house near Highland Village by the Central Market, and the other location is Antoine and 290, which is just a warehouse where I keep them.
Top secret.
Yeah, and everybody lives in air conditioning and has a charmed life.
Yep.
Yeah, battery tenders.
We appreciate all of that.
Yeah.
Besides that car, give me a couple out of the collection that you think that we and our listeners, viewers would be interested in.
Well, actually here at the show, there's that Boss 429. You don't see a Boss 9 every day.
That's the one right behind the convertible.
So that car in '69, Ford wanted to go NASCAR racing with their Hemi. And NASCAR was the National Association of Stock Car Auto Racing. So they said, guys, you better put it in a street car if you're going to run it at the big oval. So they had to do it, and Ford actually subbed it out to Carcraft, who put the cars together. But that has a Hemi 429 in it, and they ran those motors.
Ford Hemi.
Yeah, Ford Hemi. That was you remember Richard Petty was running the Dodge Daytona,
right,
and killing everybody with the Dodge Hemi, and so Ford said, "Well, we want a piece of that action," and that's what they did. So that's
they had to make 500 of them, didn't they?
They did. So that's one of the 69s, and they actually ended up, they had to make 500. They built about 650, and here we are.
Nice.
And so
how long have you had that car? While?
Oh, that's probably 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. And another car over there that's pretty interesting is that there is a Vetro Racina Ferrari.
Never heard of it. Is that the one with the bonnet up on it?
It's closed right now.
Okay.
The Vetro Racina is a Ferrari 308. Vetro Racina is the Italian word for fiberglass. So that is a fiberglass Ferrari 308, and that Ferrari 308 is right-hand drive. As I say, real men shift with their left hand, right?
I guess I'm not a man.
and I bought that car in London and imported it over here.
Wow.
And I can't help but bring up the 63 split window coupe.
Yeah. I mean, an iconic car.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah. All of Don Armstrong, every inch of his body would like to have that.
So out of the 100 cars that you have, I'm embellishing on that, are any of them for sale?
No. If I sell a car, my wife might get a hold of the money.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm just keeping it all in wheels.
Well, there is that. So are you looking to expand the collection?
Always. Every minute of every day.
Yeah.
And I work at the office as hard as I can so that I can find cars at night.
Is there anything in here that interests you that you might want to pick up?
A lot, probably.
Yeah. No. That little
It's a
Dino
Ferrari,
right there. Oh,
it's the right color.
Right
for
color,
you.
right?
Yeah.
They're in the car sales business.
There you go.
I should go over there.
You should. Yes, you should.
Yeah.
That's what I think. But I need to get one martini in me so I get my gumption up, right?
Ah.
Gumption, I'm familiar with that.
Yeah, might need to get 2 because that's shares. The share, that's its claim to fame. That's the share car.
Oh, that's the share car?
That's the share car.
Well, I like share. So,
I do too.
Your wife's here, I would say.
Gypsies, tramps, and thieves.
There you go.
There you go. And when you buy it, you can share it.
No, but I will tell you where I'm headed now in the car hobby is pre-war. Pre-war. They
don't make too many red cars pre-war.
Yeah, but there's some. But, you look at the show over here and you see these pre-war cars, and they're sort of like 57 Thunderbirds. The market's kind of softened on them, and so now they're obtainable. And I think I'm going to get myself a Auburn Cord Duesenberg, one of those.
There's a white cord in the entry coming in.
Yeah.
You can those
wrong color.
That level you can find some of them that are red.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a red Buick over there. We were just talking to a guy in 1908.
Yeah.
It's pretty sharp.
Yeah. Well, that could happen. You may see me next year wearing a derby cap or something.
Oh, wow.
Really?
I may not be able to pull it off.
No. That ain't happening.
This man knows his limitations.
That's it.
And so does your wife. She knows your limitations, too.
Yeah. Well, it's great to talk to you.
Well,
thank you so much for the history and a beautiful car, and obviously a beautiful car collection. Congratulations. We're envious. And we hope to run into you again soon. I hope we will.
I hope we will, too.
Yeah.
I always enjoy
around.
seeing you.
Yeah, thanks so much.
I always enjoy seeing you guys.
Thank you. We
appreciate you
it.
coming by.
Eric Lipper with Lipper Garage. Hey, the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the iHeart Radio app. Look for In Wheel Time Car Talk. Podcasts from your favorite podcast provider. We also video stream our 3-hour weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. And In Wheel Time Car Talk continues right after this quick break.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call, and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org. Saturday and Sunday, May 4th and 5th, you're invited to enjoy the 28th annual Keels Wheels Concours d'Elegance. See the largest collection of classic cars and boats in the U.S. on display at the beautiful Lakewood Yacht Club in Seabrook, Texas. This year's Keels Wheels features 60 years of Ford Mustangs and Donzi boats. There's plenty of free parking, and discount tickets are available online at keels-wheels.com. It's Keels Wheels, Saturday and Sunday, May 4th and 5th at the Lakewood Yacht Club in Seabrook. In Wheel Time will be there, too. We'll see you there.
Welcome back to the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Again, we are at the 28th annual Keels and Wheels Concours d'Elegance at the Lakewood Yacht Club in Seabrook, Texas. It's a beautiful setting today.
It is.
I know that there are high water rescues are underway north of Houston. Our thoughts and prayers are with those people up there. I know that Sky Eye is up there, or at least they were just a few minutes ago, according to an alert that I got on my cell phone. So good luck to everybody. We'll be up there later today. Some of the stories making news this week. Tesla CEO Elon Musk said expansion of the automaker's supercharger network will slow, following media reports that the company had slashed hundreds of jobs in its electric vehicle charging group. Quote, Tesla still plans to grow the supercharger network, just at a slower pace for new locations and more focus on 100% uptime and expansion of existing locations, Musk said Tuesday on the X social media platform that he owns. Musk also responded to a Tesla owner on X who asked about the future of a specific supercharger location under construction in Montana. Quote, it's definitely going to open, Musk wrote. Sites under construction will be completed, and we will add additional superchargers anywhere where there are gaps. Tesla's supercharger infrastructure is the biggest public fast charge network in the U.S. and is in the process of opening up to more than a dozen rival automakers after reaching agreements last year. Tesla currently has 25,491 supercharger connectors in 2,061 stations across the U.S., according to the U.S. Department of Energy. Tesla added about 6,000 supercharger connectors last year and has about 60% of all fast charge connectors in the U.S., according to EV Adoption, an EV data firm. However, I couldn't find a damn one of them.
Well, it sounds
for
like a
3
lot.
damn days.
6,000 and then 25,000.
Well, they're not by
like
me.
A lot.
They're not by me.
Sounds like they're working on it.
So, well.
But that's the whole problem with the
electric cars.
Yes.
You can't get them charged.
Everybody's working on it.
Yeah. So let's go out and buy something that everybody's working on and not be able to charge the car.
Yeah. Well.
It's always great for me. Mars, how are you doing? What are you doing sitting down?
I'm sitting down because I am tired. No. Smitty is on his way.
Hey,
Smitty. We talked to Smitty a couple of times. Smitty has he made a presentation at 11:30. He's working on a car for 3 years. And a gentleman came down from
What happened to the boat guy?
Kind of
Gary's still working on the boat guy.
I got my minute. You want to do my minute?
Yeah, I want to do your minute.
Okay. Well, with this minute, just this past week, race car driver Wally Dallenbach, and I met him back in the early 70s through my brother-in-law up Michigan International Speedway. Wally Dallenbach passed away this past week. Regular presence at the Indy 500 in the 60s and 70s, went on to become one of the most respected series officials in modern-day Indy history. He died Monday, according to the Indianapolis Speedway and the Pikes Peak International Hill Climb Association, which he was very, very involved in. He was 87 years old, huge contribution to the sport, 5 decades. He was an official at IndyCar and IMS. In a joint statement, they said they were very saddened for it. So thoughts and prayers go out to his family.
Well, that's a nice tribute. Yes, I remember the Wally Dallenbach name very well. Obviously, I never had the opportunity to meet him.
As a kid, I was probably 14, 15 years old.
I did meet Wally Parks. He's another Wally.
Yeah, we got a Wally in the studio.
We have a Wally in the studio.
We do.
Yeah. Wally had your keys for the truck the other day, the bat.
My dad's name is Wally.
Mars sends me this text message. What is that BAT? I'm going, what? A BAT? I sent him a question mark. Big ass truck. Where did you come up with that? I know you didn't come up with that.
No. A girl that I used to work with, her fiance had a BAT, is the way she called it.
Wow. Well, for you, it would be a BDT, a big donkey truck.
Nah, not into the donks.
No, not donks.
Oh.
Donkey.
Because you're hauling a lot of it.
Hauling donkey.
Hauling donkey. Yeah. Well, I had one of them once, but that's it broke today.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's just sit here and look at Mars while we do this.
I'm waiting for Cher to drive away in that car.
Well, I was asking about that earlier, but she was the...
Who owns that car?
Cher.
Cher's husband?
No. It's...
Does she have a husband?
Well, that's what they call her.
But she was the first owner of that car, and that's kind of its claim to fame. And
that's a claim to fame?
For the car, I guess.
Well, I mean, I guess if you could go back and find it, my 1972 Vega would have a claim to fame.
Mm-hmm.
Don Armstrong owned that.
Yeah.
There's a claim to fame.
You didn't have Cher sitting in your seat.
There's a yellow Porsche in front of us with 2 water skis on the back of it.
Yeah.
And David and I were admiring that.
Water skis earlier.
The gentleman was polishing the water skis before he put them on the car. So it's an event. You have to be here.
It's got a California plate on it.
Yep. California dreaming.
Yep. There's a lot of nice stuff. Is that a Rolls Royce in front of us? Is that what that is? Is that a Rolls?
No, that's a BMW.
Right there.
That car, that gray car?
Yes. It's got a BMW logo on the
trunk.
trunk.
It certainly does. I'll be darned. He's absolutely
right.
That's
what Eric was talking about, his C8 Corvettes in the same class as that.
Oh, wow.
And I forgot to tell him, I've got a Mustang right now that I'm driving.
Oh, yeah.
I have the Mustang Dark Horse.
Do you?
500 horsepower with a 6-speed manual transmission.
Man.
It ain't got a lot of rubber left on it when I got it.
Well, I haven't had it.
They're not giving it to you.
Apparently not.
No.
I got the Mustang GT with a 6-speed. That's all I got.
Yeah. Do you have one now?
Yeah.
Huh. Wow. My Mustang will beat your Mustang. How many horsepower you got in that GT there, Mr. Mars?
I don't know. I
He's
haven't
got
looked
enough.
up that far yet.
I got 500 in mine.
No, I ain't got 500. This is a GT street version, so it's not going to be the dark horse.
Wow.
Dark Horse has different badging on it.
So have you hammered it a little bit?
I have not. No.
I'm curious because
But
there's
the
a couple
red
of things about the GT that I've already seen.
Well, the red line on this particular engine is 7,500 RPM. Most cars don't red light at 7,500.
No, they go 68 to 65 to 68.
Well, 6,000 is usually about most of them will get you any horsepower out of it.
Yeah, and
it
by the
drops
time
off dramatically.
And if you're running the automatic, if you pop it at 65, by the time
are you
bumps,
running an automatic?
No, it's a 6.
Get you some of that.
Okay,
but it's an interesting
well, my car's
driver.
faster than your car. You've heard that before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're not even. You just can't reply the right way that I'm looking for.
Oh, sorry.
He's trying to lead you into it. You
I know,
that.
but
he's not biting.
I already know though that I can outdrive him, so I can outcompensate his extra horsepower.
Yeah. Mars bumps into the walls when he's driving. I at least keep it between the
bump
lines.
into walls, Mike.
The In-Wheel Time Car
There's
Talk
no walls
Show
at
is
the red
waiting
light.
to hear from you. Shoot us an email, info@inwheeltime.com. We are back at the Keels and Wheels Concours d'Elegance right after this.
The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipes mean when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the original Lupi Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here's the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Lupi Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Speaking of original, nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupi Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupi Tortilla Katy is another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupi's. It's located just off I-10 and the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggie Land? Head to the Lupi Tortilla in College Station, located just around the corner from Kyle Field. It's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Headed east to Louisiana, stop in at the Lupi Tortilla in Beaumont. It too's on I-10. You can't miss it. The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants invites you in for the best Tex-Mex anywhere. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is having another car social Saturday morning, May 18th from 8 to 11. It's a car cruise-in like no other. Expect Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Corvettes, and the featured brand Porsche. Get social at this special cruise-in event. You'll also see Gulf Coast Auto Shield's private workshop and learn about their many products and services. Questions are welcomed. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway near West Airport Boulevard, just south of the Southwest Freeway. The Car Social featuring Porsche takes place Saturday morning, May 18th from 8 to 11. Tell your friends, and no matter what car you have, bring it and enjoy this rare opportunity to see some of Houston's finest rides. In Wheel Time will bring its Car Talk show there too, so join us for another Car Social at Gulf Coast Auto Shield, Saturday morning, May 18th, 8 to 11 at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway. Visit gcautoshield.com to see the show flyer for more details.
It's the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show coming to you today from the 28th Annual Concours d'Elegance at Lakewood Yacht Club in Seabrook, Texas. Had another guest from today's annual event later. We're also going to have... Did we do Jeff's Motor Minute?
Yeah, we did.
Well, one thing that we didn't get in, we missed this time, is the racing calendar.
Yeah, we talked about that, but it's kind of
I understand, but we still have to get it in.
Okay, let's get it in.
Here's why.
Well, I got to go get it. Hold on.
Well, no, not right this
I just put it away.
All right, well, go get it then. You go do your thing. Don't worry about us. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars. Jeff's butt is right there. David Ainsley is right here, and I'm Don Armstrong. He is our IT genius. And I say that loosely. Genius at IT, I guess, but that's about all.
I resemble that remark.
I know you do, and I was waiting for you to cut my microphone off. I got you. All right, Mr. Mars, have yourself there.
So joining us now is Justin Smith. We've talked to him a couple of times. He's got Smithy Customs. He's got a few three cars out here, I believe. But he had one special car that he brought out here that's it's down there because he had to bring it in his 40-foot trailer to get it out here, and it's kind of a big deal.
Is it 40 feet long?
Oh yeah, big car.
48. No, the trailer is. Not the
48.
car.
Oh,
The trailer's 40 feet.
Big old gooseneck.
There you go.
Yeah, make some wide turns.
Exactly.
Run over a couple people.
So let's start with the car. Let's start with that one. Then we'll talk about your other resto mods.
Yeah. So we've been working on this car. It's for one of our clients. He lives up in New York, and he has a car, a '68 Camaro that he purchased back in 1998, and went through the typical things you do when you buy a car like that, and it was his first car he actually bought with his own money. He wanted to really drive this car, and he ended up moving out of the country for a year or so, and he sold the car to a family member, and then he came back, and then ended up buying the car back and registered it with his I guess it was his father-in-law, because he got himself married while he was overseas, and just so he could, not worry about insurance or whatever.
Right.
And so he sat for until 16, and he decided to get it restored, and he had.
So it was unrestored when he bought it.
Yeah, it was unrestored.
It was an original car.
Yeah.
Original engine.
Original engine and stuff like that, but it caught fire, and after it does that, it's pretty, it's
toasty.
All stop.
Yeah.
And so he contacted us, and he has family down in Houston, and he came down, and we talked about it, and we built him a one-off custom '68 Camaro we call the Torrent. It's a Torrent Camaro, and it's blue. It's Porsche blue. It's called Voodoo Blue, and we did a whole bunch of modern stuff to it. Modern suspension, modern engine, full custom interior. Kind of sounds like that one in the background. And it came out nice. So unfortunately, he wasn't able to join us today for the reveal. It's his 25th wedding anniversary.
That's a little bit more important than a dang car.
Couldn't talk her into coming down and do it.
Well, it's actually today. The anniversary is today, and we had a joke going around. May the 4th be with you. And so, unfortunately, but he was able to join via FaceTime, and he sent his 3 daughters down.
Oh, nice.
From New York, and they came down. They came in last night, and so we revealed it to them, and it was a great showing. And a lot of people show up down there, and we told kind of the same speech I just said, and kind of a history, and revealed the car to the family, and a lot of tears were shed, and the car just came out phenomenal.
I have to ask.
Did a great job.
How bad was the fire on the car, and what did it damage?
So it got both the front seats.
So it was an interior fire?
I think it was a mix of gasoline and oil. So I think they had one of those old school oil gauges that actually had
the oil coming up to the gauge.
To the actual sendering unit. And it went in, and then when the fire hit that, it just went south from there. And so both the front seats were toast and everything, and
but it didn't get to the roof and the metal structure of the car.
A little bit, but it wasn't anything we couldn't salvage. We ended up there was too much rust there anyway. We had to replace it anyway, but we ended up replacing a lot of the metal work on there because it's just an old, it's '68, and
careful.
We had to go through all of that stuff. We ended up pulling a lot of the flooring out and everything. We ended up upgrading to a IRS in the back of it, and it's a cantilever setup from Speed Tech, and we did a lot of custom fab throughout that car.
What was left of it when you Swiss cheese, obviously?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's typical. It's typical for these cars.
Was that a northern car that you got? Had a lot of salt rust on it?
Yeah, he bought the car up in New York. So yeah, it got its fair share.
Lived its whole life up there, yeah.
Yeah, it had its fair share.
Yeah.
And so, it's pretty typical we see. So.
How long was the restoration? How long did it take you?
I was asked that a little bit ago, and I was like, wow, 3.5 years.
Yeah. Wow. But that also is pretty typical for a complete restoration.
Yeah, rotisserie type. Yeah.
We normally, our cars, when we start rock and rolling on them, we can get them at 2 years. but this car had so much more to it, so much specialty stuff we did to it. It just took a little bit.
How about
longer.
the engine?
The engine, we ended up going with a supercharged motor, just a GM Crate LT4, and produces plenty of power.
Why did you go? Obviously, it was it was orchestrated by the owner, I would assume, to do away with the original motor that was in it, put it in a box, and I'll take it back. But we're going to go with this motor instead of the matching numbers car.
His thought is I want to drive it. I want to enjoy it. I don't have to worry about it. And the way we did these cars, and a lot of our cars, is we set it up to where it's like a new car. You have all the expectation of getting in it, starting up, and going out and drive.
So the 3+ years it took to rebuild the car, did you find yourself going in a direction and then, we got to change that direction and go over here and try this and replace that, and then from there you were kind of zigzag through the build, or did you have a plan from the beginning and stick to the plan?
We had a plan. We always really try to understand what the goals of the client is, and then we come up with kind of an idea of what we're thinking, and we get a rendering done. And so we've been working off the last 2.5 years of a rendering that we put together that really gave us guidance of what to look for. And,
gotcha.
How we redid the rear of the car underneath, and allowed a diffuser setup in the rear. How we're going to intake a lot of the cooler air in the front and redesign that. There's a lot of thought that goes into building a car that produces 650 horsepower. It's just not something you have to, you can just throw together. You have to plan accordingly.
What other cars do you have in the shop right now?
Right now, wow. We're working on about over a dozen cars, off and on. We have
little bit here, a little bit there. This one for a day, this one for a couple of days.
Not necessarily. I think for us, it's just we have 4 different parts of the shop, and we have one group of guys working on the metal work, and then it moves to another part of the shop where it moves in for first assembly, where they go in and do all of the bracketry and putting in the AC systems and all that, getting all that stuff to fit. Then it goes to paint and body, and then it goes to final assembly, where everything was pre-fitted and everything goes right back together the way we designed it to. So through the phases of those of that building process, there's might be a lapse here while we're waiting for a part, or waiting for a suspension to show up, or whatever the situation is. This car was like it kind of started right after the pandemic, and we had a lot of trouble getting a lot of parts in a timely fashion. And so a lot of that played into how we had to pace ourselves.
So in other words, it really wasn't like ordering community coffee in the morning on Amazon and have it delivered by noon.
Yeah.
It wasn't that way.
Those good old days are gone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
As far as the suspension is concerned, what kind of IRS did you put on the rear of the car?
So we worked with Speed Tech Performance. They're out of St. George, Utah. And they do a lot of these suspension systems for pro touring type cars.
Now, did you have to re-bracket the car?
So we literally had to cut the whole rear of the car apart.
Oh, great.
Yeah, like you would do for a full tub setup for a race car or something. That's how far extensive we went into. And since it's a unibody, there's a lot of structure there you have to think about.
So you have some really nice-looking cutting torches in the shop.
Oh, yeah. We get down and dirty with plasma cutter. And, a good old-fashioned hacksaw if you need to.
And then when you weld it, it's like a row of nickels.
Yeah. I got some my guys at the shop are phenomenal craftsmen.
How many guys you got working for you?
We're sitting right around 13 right now.
Wow. It's a big shop.
Big crew.
And there's an ebb and flow, of people that work for us, and some people move on, and it's just the way that the business is. But the good thing that we really focus in on is the type of people and the mentality that our
and what
guys
they can
are.
do for you. Yeah.
And first and foremost, they got to be good people, and every one of my crew, past and present, be good people, and that's what we look for.
Do you have anything for sale in the shop? Anything personal that you need to exchange?
I do have
money.
I do have a couple projects, and when I run across we talk to a lot of people, and a lot of people want want something done, and then some just lose interest. And I was like, that's a pretty cool car, and we'll work out a deal and purchase it, and I'll keep it at kind of like not inventory, but something that we can potentially flip or sell. Right. And there's several cars that in our rotation that we finished in the last couple of years were my personal cars. We have a '65 Corvette down there, full custom, that we built for a client. That was mine. I really wanted it. It was something I wanted to buy.
Hang it, Mama! You can't. You don't let me have anything.
Yeah, and because I want that car. I'm like, what can I do? And so
you got outbid.
I sell the car, and we ended up. It's a win-win. Everyone enjoys it. They get the car, and we get to build it the way I wanted to build it. To begin with. Right. So it works out, and I get to drive it.
That's a whole lot of it. You get it, you build it the way you want it, and then it's like, what am I going to do next? Well, let me find another project.
Well, and then you overprice it so they can't buy
it. Well, I got one there I have a '69 Z28. I pulled it out of an auction up in Dallas, and this was. There's no really documentation of how it was purchased. I've gone every route to try to figure out the title, who bought it, who's the original owner. It's never been titled in Texas.
Ghost car, wow.
Yeah, and my thought is it was purchased in Lubbock, and there's some detail on the car. You have to really focus in on the paint. You can see it's a race car. It was a track car that they took. They did a quarter mile in it or eighth mile. I don't know what they did, but you can see old lettering that was painted over on it on the sail panel, and you can see out of Lubbock, Texas, and you can see names, and I've tried to track down those names, but it's all in its original paint and glory. You can tell it was raced in the 70s. It has all of that stuff. It's a Z28.
Does it have the DZ motor in it?
So when I bought it, it did not. I'm pretty sure they probably pulled it out, put something else in it.
Yeah.
But I was fortunate enough to run across one that had the matching number set up, and I had Jeff over at Westside Performance Machine put it together for me, so it's a numbers matching setup for this car.
Very nice.
And so we're gonna drop that in there, but we're gonna original patina, everything in it, keep it alive. It's got the old mag style wheels on it. And we're just going to keep it like it was and enjoy it for what it was used for back then.
How do we find out about Smitty's?
So you can Instagram's a big one. You can hit us up on Facebook as well.
Is it SMITTY?
No, it's Smith with a Y at the end.
Smithy.
Yeah.
Smith with a Y.
I chose that. Obviously, my last name's Smith. But Smithy is I chose that because it's a name, an old name that was used that defined where a blacksmith or a smith would work.
Yeah, right.
And
craftsman.
That's where people went to the smithy to get craftsmen and work done, and that's why I stuck with
that. And you're our Smithy.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, getting back to the Camaro, he's looking for a new hot rod.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
If you take a trade on a 2001 Corvette, then we could start there.
Oh,
it's only got 34,000 miles on it.
Oh man, that's low miles for that year.
It is.
Okay, if we can get you two together after the show,
let's do that. We'll do a trade.
There you go.
There you go.
Justin, it's great to talk to you. Good to see you, my friend.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we hope to run into you again soon. Stay in touch with us.
Absolutely. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. The NWL Time Car Talk Show is available 24. As the wind blows my script away.
Yeah, it's getting a little breezy.
The NWL Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for NWL Time Car Talk. We also video stream our 3-hour weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, and NWLTime.com. Podcasts from your favorite podcast provider. The NWL Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org. Saturday and Sunday, May 4th and 5th, you're invited to enjoy the 28th annual Keels Wheels Concours d'Elegance. See the largest collection of classic cars and boats in the U.S. on display at the beautiful Lakewood Yacht Club in Seabrook, Texas. This year's Keels Wheels features 60 years of Ford Mustangs and Donzi boats. There's plenty of free parking, and discount tickets are available online at keels-wheels.com. It's Keels Wheels, Saturday and Sunday, May 4th and 5th at the Lakewood Yacht Club in Seabrook. In Wheel Time will be there, too. We'll see you there.
Welcome back to the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show, coming to you today from Keels and Wheels. And by the way, today's show closes at 5. Tomorrow's show open 9 to 4 at the Lakewood Yacht Club here in Seabrook. Come on down, buy your tickets online, get a $10 discount each, and that's the way to do it.
Yep.
There's plenty of parking off-site. The actual grass lots are closed because of all the rain that we've had. So they're busing people back and forth. Not a big deal. Park in a nice concrete lot somewhere around here, and they'll bus you in. All right. Time now for the racing calendar, sponsored by the Texas Muscle Car Club Challenge.
Yeah, and then we got NASCAR, which is tomorrow. Tickets are still available, Mike, if you want to go. It's 3 p.m. It's from the Darlington Raceway. So
famous
Darlington Raceway tomorrow for NASCAR. You've got my favorite, which is Formula One. It is going on this week. It was going on yesterday, today, tomorrow, and they are in Miami Grand Prix.
Talking about Miami.
Now, upcoming, you got Indy coming up, road course May 11th, which is the prequel to the Indy 500, which is the same thing for IMSA, which is going to be in Laguna Seca on May 12th, which is Mother's Day. Everybody don't forget that. May 18th, coming up in a couple of weeks, is going to be the NHRA, and they're going to be in Chicago. It's going to be a 2-day event, 18th and 19th, and it's going to be the Route 66 National Speedway in Chicago. So there you go.
Mr. Mars, it's all yours, sir.
Yes, sir. So we've talked to a lot of different people here, got a lot of different vehicles, but one of the things, if you're thinking about getting into this, is you got to keep in mind that the whole idea is to document a vehicle back to its factory original condition. Now, each one of these brands have got different judges. They're experts in that marquee, and they know all about it, the history of the engine, the chassis construction, factory paint, and they know what normal wear and tear would be on these things. So if you've got a car and you want to try and get into this, you need to go to some of the meets and some of the shows like this one. But a couple of the big ones you need to look at is the Classic Car Club of America, Bloomington Gold, the National Corvette Restorers Society, because they've all got certification programs and judging events specifically for this. And that includes some of them, like Bloomington Gold Corvette Show, the end of June at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, has got workshops that they go into. You can go in and you can learn about frame-off processes, mechanical rebuilding, body, paint work, all these kind of things that are going to go into it. You need to go and find out about it before you actually get into it, because the such as Bloomington Gold, they recognize characteristics like overspray and orange peel that's typical of factory cars, but a lot of people they correct it and they overcorrect it. So they take out the orange peel and they make it an over-restored vehicle.
Yeah, and they get
do
points
too
off
much,
of that.
and then you start losing points because it's too much. So if you want to look into this, before you get too far gone down this road, you need to start looking at the certification groups that are going to do
and
that.
what you want to be involved in.
That's
Let's
right.
get to Paul Merriman. He is the co-founder of Keels Wheels, been here for 28 years and been doing his boat thing a lot longer than that, I would imagine. Paul, it's good to see you, sir.
It's good to be here. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. And how are things going? This is a Donzi boat feature in the water out there here at Lakewood Yacht Club this year. And how many Donzis do you have out there?
We've got 16 Donzis.
Oh, wow.
16 Donzis. A very special boat. Do they still build these things?
Yes, they do. A different company bought them a few years ago, and they're now building the boat. But the ones we have here date all the way back to the beginning, in the late 60s, early 70s, when they were building the Sweet 16, they called it, which was the hot dog boat of that era.
Right. What we would look at as today's cigarette or something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And of course, the new modern ones. If you've been to the harbor, you can see what the new Donzis look like, which are the big go fast, really sleek looking.
Yeah. So, are you judging these?
Yes, we are.
Are you the head judge?
I'm one of the judges.
One of the judges, okay. So there's several of you, so you can kind of defer all the hate and ugly words that might be said because they didn't get the top prize or whatever.
Exactly. It wasn't my fault.
So
that's right.
Have you always judged, and can you be bought?
No, I have not always judged. Being the co-founder of the event, I stayed out of that until I semi-retired here a couple of years ago.
Right. Conflict of interest.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. How many boats total are out there to be seen by the visitors today?
Right at 50.
50 boats.
Yeah.
Are any of the boats out there welcoming visitors on board?
Yes, we've got a couple of the big boats that are giving tours.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I remember visiting one several years ago. It was magnificent. It was a yacht, a total wooden yacht. And I don't remember who owned it. There was a very nice woman that was giving the tours, and I think her husband's sitting next to her with the dog on the floor. Come on in, take a look. It was stunning, the detail work on these boats.
That would more than likely be the yacht Serenity, and she is back with us this year.
Oh, that's great.
This is about her 20th year to be in our show.
Well, that's a magnificent boat, and if you come down here to Keels Wheels, be sure and go out there and get on board that boat and take a look. I think that you're going to go, you've got to be kidding. People actually made this? It's truly stunning.
Well, it really is. If we're talking about the yacht Serenity, it's a 1941 boat.
Yeah.
Construction was actually started in the late 30s and finished, in 1941. But it was also the last one to come out of the factory before they converted to, wartime activities. So it's really a very rare vessel.
Yeah. Well, it's stunningly beautiful to think of the craftsmanship that went into that at that time. We look back on that and you just kind of give it a shrug, but you go in there and look at the detail work and you'll see why it took all those years to put that thing together.
And the maintenance of it currently, I'm sure.
Keep it up.
Yeah.
The maintenance and upkeep is unbelievable.
Has it got the original engine in it?
Yes, it does.
It does?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. I cannot even imagine, a freshwater, or in this case, I guess a saltwater boat, because that is a constant maintenance item.
Well, it is, but this has the original Detroit diesel engines.
Wow.
Truly amazing.
It'll last forever.
I know you probably can't say what your favorite is, but what would you really want everybody to know that's out there that they must see?
It'd be really hard to pick the best boat. I'm glad it's not my job this year.
Yeah.
To pick the outstanding boat, which we normally have one every year, but we've got some absolutely beautiful boats.
Well, Paul, it's always good to see you. I'm sure we're a little short on time this morning, but I wanted to make sure that you get on and talk about the boat section, the Keels portion of Keels Wheels, and it's great to see you.
Well, it's always a pleasure to talk to you guys. We're glad to have you here.
Thank you very much. It's very great to see you. Okay, we're going to wrap up today's show right after a quick break here on In Wheel Time.
Original group of Loopy Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipes mean when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the original Loopy Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here's the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Loopy Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Speaking of original, nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Loopy Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Loopy Tortilla Katy is another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Loopy's. It's located just off I-10 and the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggie Land? Head to the Loopy Tortilla in College Station, located just around the corner from Kyle Field. It's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Headed east to Louisiana, stop in at the Loopy Tortilla in Beaumont. It too's on I-10. You can't miss it. The original group of Loopy Tortilla restaurants invites you in for the best Tex-Mex anywhere. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is having another car social Saturday morning, May 18th from 8 to 11. It's a car cruise-in like no other. Expect Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Corvettes, and the featured brand Porsche. Get social at this special cruise-in event. You'll also see Gulf Coast Auto Shield's private workshop and learn about their many products and services. Questions are welcomed. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway near West Airport Boulevard, just south of the Southwest Freeway. The Car Social featuring Porsche takes place Saturday morning, May 18th from 8 to 11. Tell your friends, and no matter what car you have, bring it and enjoy this rare opportunity to see some of Houston's finest rides. In Wheel Time will bring its Car Talk show there too, so join us for another Car Social at Gulf Coast Auto Shield, Saturday morning, May 18th, 8 to 11 at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway. Visit gcautoshield.com to see the show flyer for more details.
Well, that's it for this week's In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Check out our website, inwheeltime.com. If you're not following us on Facebook, please do. Give us a like. Tell your friends about us and share our stuff with your friends, if you would, please. We'll keep you posted on the latest car stuff all week long. When you're looking for award-winning Car Talk Sunday through Friday, you can find the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show 24/7 via the iHeartRadio app. Daily 30-minute podcasts are available from your favorite streaming provider. We post a new episode every day. And don't forget, we live stream this show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com every Saturday from 8 to 11 a.m. Central Time. The In Wheel Time Sales and Video Technical Director is We Need More, Jeff Zekin.
Yes.
For booking agents, video editor, and the man who dives deeper than the Titanic to bring you all of his magnificence, Mike Out of This World Mars, along with chief engineer, bottle washer, and driver of the 1984 Browns minivan, David Ainsley. I'm Don Armstrong. We hope you join us next week from our broadcast home, Studio A in Sugar Land, Texas, here on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Next Saturday, May 11th, 8 to 11 a.m. on all of our In Wheel Time Car Talk outlets. Have a great weekend. Be safe out there.